Get Nasty on a Wednesday. It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. 203, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Jamie Rivers off throughout the week here as he continues to, what I imagine is party in Mexico. I think that's a safe assumption, right?
Yeah, he's probably having a good time.
Yeah,
You think he's, what time is it? You think he's awake yet?
Yeah, I think he's awake.
Already drinking?
Oh, yeah.
Over you can't 4?
Over.
Right now?
Yeah. Because Mexico's Central Time, right?
I believe so. 2 o'clock?
2 o'clock, yeah. He's at least 4 deep.
You can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning, right?
This is true.
Yeah.
You got a point there, Mark.
Absolutely. Pitchers and catchers report. What's your excitement level for the 2025 MLB season?
Oh, man.
Want to hear from you, too, on this.
Yeah.
Leave us a mic drop, text us. Several ways to get a hold of us throughout the show. But pitchers and catchers reporting.
It's baseball, man. Baseball's back. Boys of the summer are ready to roll. It's not summer yet. It's snowing here. Sure, it's warmer where they are, Florida.
I would say so.
I'm somewhat excited. For me, I'm kind of all, and I was this way when I played. I'm ready to get to the games. Like, I know it's a necessary evil to go through the spring training or training camp in the NFL, but most people are ready to just start playing. You got to get yourselves back acclimated, and I don't put too much stock into essentially preseason, which is what this is. So I'm somewhat excited, but I'm ready for baseball to be back. I love baseball. I love watching the Cardinals. I know people think I'm a Dodgers fan, and I am. Don't get it wrong. But I'm really a Cardinals fan. I love the Cardinals. So I want them to do well. I want guys to perform well. If there is something to watch, if guys really shine in spring training, specifically the pitching, like you see some young guy that is just out there shoving and forcing himself to be on the roster, then I will be paying attention. I would enjoy that. But
Yeah.
This is just the time to get your body back going.
I think from a Cardinals standpoint, I am at least somewhat interested in the young players and what the playing time is going to look like. Mm-hmm. What other thing are you necessarily intrigued by, if not for that? The playing in terms of playing time.
Come on,
the pitching staff, how that's going to shake up.
No, you know what you're looking for. Do I need to say it?
Yeah, I think so.
Nolan Arenado.
Well, he'll be there.
No, will he?
I don't know.
Yeah, nobody knows. Is he going to play? Is he going to have, how the NFL does their hold-ins? Like, they show up to camp and they just walk around in flip-flops all day?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not playing. I'm not practicing. That's practice. And be here or not.
Right.
That's usually for a guy looking for a contract. This is a guy that has a contract. Mm-hmm. So what does he do? How does this all play out? Do we just pretend like it didn't happen?
I think to some degree you have to, don't you?
What is it called? The nebulizer? No, that's
the that's that's for asthma.
The neuralizer.
Neuralizer. There you go. Or nebulizer. Whatever you want. Just flash it in front of the entire team's eyes, and he's been here the whole time.
I can guarantee you, if you flash the nebulizer in front of somebody's face, that will not do much outside of maybe help somebody breathe better. I think you do. If you're the Cardinals, you're Nolan Arenado, you almost have to show up and say business as usual, even though it's not. But what else? What's your alternative? You got to show up.
Yeah, you got to show up
at some point. Mm-hmm. You got to get your work in.
I don't think it's going to be weird for him. I think it's going to be weird for management. Like, what is the conversation like? Like, do you talk to the boss or the guy that wanted to trade you and he didn't? Like, how is that interaction all year long? Do you just walk past him like he doesn't exist?
I mean, you could, but wait.
You probably.
I feel like the whole process was mutual, though, and it's like, hey, we know that if you end up playing well throughout the season, there's another chance that we'll be able to move on from you at the deadline.
Yeah.
Like, you just got to go out and play at this point. Yeah. Like, it is what it is. It's part of the business. These guys have been in the business for so long. They know the drill. Mm-hmm. Like, is it a little awkward? Yes, because we're all humans and there's awkward moments. Once the season starts, he's part of the team.
Yeah.
And he'll play.
Yeah, I think, and as your management, like you said, it was mutual on both sides because Arenado was like, hey, I'm willing to waive my no-trade clause. I'm willing to play other positions, if need be. That's fine. So there was a sense that on both sides that they were going to move on. Both sides were going to move on. So I think if you're management and you're Nolan Arenado, you have one conversation at the start of spring training. You say, hey, let's be professional about all this. You're still a St. Louis Cardinal. We're happy you're here and move forward. I don't think you act like your buddy, but I doubt that was the case beforehand. I don't think you have to walk around and act fake, but why not have one conversation and then just move forward with it?
Yeah, baseball's baseball. It doesn't matter what team you're on. Like, you go out there and you play. And I think he's going to do what he can do to try and get back to the level that he once was at. Mm-hmm. And that's it. Whatever team that he's on, he's going to still play and try and do his best.
Right.
So, and it's not like he's not friends with any of the guys on the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I said I don't think it'd be weird for him and the teammates, but when you're dealing with front office people and, they try to trade you, you want to be traded, they don't want to pay you, you want to be paid. Like, how does that work?
Yeah.
Like, they're like, yo, you again. Huh, you're still here, huh? I'm still here. Still collecting that check, buddy.
I'm excited for this season in a sense where, like, I'm intrigued by what this is going to look like. I have no expectations for this team to make the playoffs, which is, for me, if they do, then they exceed my expectations. But I love baseball. I want to go to the stadium. I want to watch baseball. I want to drink man sodas at a decent price. I want to get some food at a decent price. But I want to have fun. Like, I love going to Busch Stadium and watching baseball games. So I'm excited for that. Growing up, I had the mindset of when it's hockey season, I'm really into hockey season. When it's baseball season, I'm really into baseball season. And I would wait until the Blues essentially were out of the playoffs to really ramp up my intrigue for the Cardinals because they were just getting into the thick of things.
Right.
Now with the Blues sort of really not doing that well, now they're still in a playoffs, like, they're not in a playoff spot, but, like, they're a few points out, like, they can still make the playoffs. I'm more shifting focus to the Cardinals right now because, to me, they're the more intriguing storyline right now in St. Louis.
Are you excited, though? Are you excited for the season?
I'm intrigued.
Okay, yeah.
I'm intrigued. I'm excited to watch baseball because I love watching baseball, but I'm intrigued about what this team is going to look like and how they perform.
Right. That's where I'm at, and that's the vibe I'm getting from you guys. You're not really excited, and I don't blame you because I'm not excited either. The offseason, like, when you're excited about your team, it's because either your team did something in the offseason that, even if it's polarizing, the signings that they made, there's an effort to improve. But where the Cardinals are at right now, I have a good understanding of it. It doesn't make any sense to go out and sign free agents when you're in this retool. So I get that aspect of it. But I'm also not sitting here, pitchers and catchers are reporting. I'm fired up.
Yeah.
Like, I'm fired up. I'm more curious to see how this is all going to play out.
Are you intrigued, like, the traffic is slow and you're intrigued to see what the hell happened up there?
Oh, that's a great way of putting it.
You're like, damn, what's going on up there? And you're like looking, you're trying to weave in out of traffic, like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
Like, you're intrigued and you're like, oh no, that's really bad. I didn't.
Right.
I didn't.
Thoughts
need
and
to see
prayers.
that.
Yeah.
Is that type of intrigue?
I don't think so.
I think that's the Marshall. You
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
I get what you're saying in terms of, like, your analogy. I just don't.
You're intrigued because you're frustrated.
No.
But you get there, you're like, oh no, or you get there and it's just like one car over to the side with their hazard lights on, and everybody is looking. You're like, really? I was that intrigued for that?
Yeah, you're.
But then you become more upset because everyone is staring and not driving their car.
My point exactly.
But
now you're frustrated. You're like, oh hell.
But you've got a lot of emotion behind that. I'm more viewing this as, like, when your kids start a project or they start working on something, you're like, what are you doing? And they're like, oh, I'm building a rocket ship. Like, okay, well, let's see how this plays out. Like, that's where I'm at.
When they say, Daddy, look, and they just do something that they've always done, you're like, okay.
By the way, that was my 3-year-old Lincoln 42 times this morning because somebody canceled school today for no damn reason at all.
Daddy, look.
Daddy, look.
Yeah, bud.
It's a spin.
Whew, you
that
mastered
earlier.
that, pal. Yeah.
So I'm more like that. Like, oh, look, Dad, I'm building a tall building. Okay, all right, we'll see how that see how it plays out there.
And maybe it's cool. And you like it.
Maybe
Yeah.
It's not.
Maybe it's a disaster, and now I'm ticked off because I got to clean it up.
Yeah.
That's kind of more where I'm at in
I'm
terms
just
of
wondering.
level and treat.
Just checking.
Yeah, but what about you? Let us know. Leave us a mic drop. Send us a text message. Text message 314-399-9646. It's the Air Comfort Service text line. If you want to leave us at Schaefer Door Company mic drop, you certainly could do so via the Dobbs Star Notice Center 101 ESPN mobile app. Did Mo hint on something today with the TMA crew that really we kind of had a good idea? We already knew. We'll tell you what that is next on 101 ESPN.
Hey, it's Carey Davis, and I want you to be safe out there on the road. Your car getting you to and from is extremely important, but if you do end up in a bit of a fender bender, my good friends at All Things Appearance can help you out. Their owner, Jeff, is an awesome person. He wants to work with you, and they can cover all things auto-related from small scratches to major body work, standard maintenance, detailing, ceramic coating, paint repair, dent repair, collision repair, you name it, they can do it. Jeff will work with your insurance company, your warranty company, to make sure that you're getting the best price possible. All you need to do is reach out to them at 636-248-5051 or online at allthingsappearance.com. And again, that's all things auto-related. And that number that I just gave you is Jeff's personal phone number. He's the owner. He's the one that you'll be contacting and talking to directly. He'll be contacting you and getting you the estimate, letting you know when your car will be ready, all of the things that are going on. He wants to make sure that getting you back on the road is one of their top priorities, making sure your car is in good shape. So give him a call again at 636-248-5051 or online at allthingsappearance.com.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. John Mozeliak was on with the morning after And all this week, the morning after is broadcasting live from the Cardinal Spring Training in Jupiter, Florida. And you don't want to miss the TMA crew live from Roger Dean all week long. It's brought to you by CarStar, your auto body repair experts, and by Sumner One, print and business technology solutions that keep your workplace humming. So again, Mo was on with TMA, and he was asked if he's been bored about the off season. Actually, I'm sorry, this is a different clip. My bad. Here's Mo on when asked if some of the criticism is fair or not. Sorry, I read the wrong audio.
Well, I certainly understand there's like a fan view versus a business view, and I do think that's hard to separate, right? But when you look at what's happening in our industry, there are teams that are much more aggressive on multiple fronts, and ultimately, I think what the Cardinals are going to have to figure out is really what their identity is going to be. So if you really look at like the past 20 years under my run, if you will, it was about really trying to maximize what we could get out of our roster. So we would push payroll as much as we could, and we let other things, I won't say slide, but we weren't investing as heavily in like player development that maybe other organizations are. You're seeing that flip now. And ultimately, I think what's going to happen is the Cardinals just have to decide, like, what do they want to be like? And when people get mad at, like, what I do, I hope people just understand, really, like, I understand how to manage a budget. And that's what I try to do. I don't try to lose money, and I certainly want to go into every season trying to win as many games as possible.
Okay. I think he clarified a couple of different things there. One, right at the end, you heard him say, I just want people to understand that I kind of manage a budget. Mm-hmm. This is something that we have talked about more and more recently. You know, recently in terms of the last couple of years. He's got a boss.
Yeah.
He's working within the framework of a budget in order to use in the offseason. He's not given a blank check like other GMs in other bigger markets. If he were, then we could be even more critical of Mo. Now, has he managed the budget that he is given properly? No, or else the Cardinals wouldn't be in this spot. So you're given a certain budget. It's up to you to figure out how to best utilize that money. Doesn't mean you have to spend it all. Just means you have to maximize the budget that you have.
Right.
And Mo, unfortunately for the Cardinals and their fans, he hasn't done so to the best of his ability over the last couple of years. Or he has, and he's not good at it. But it does confirm that the DeWitts have operated with a very strict budget. It's not the Pirates' budget. It's not the Dodgers' budget. But there is a ceiling to what Mo can do each and every offseason. So if you've ever been like, well, you know, why doesn't Mo spend more? That's not on him. Mm-hmm. Can he spend wiser? Absolutely. And he hasn't. But he does not get free reign like some of these other GMs. So I thought that was kind of clarification or confirmation, I should say, on something, quite frankly, CD, that we already knew.
Well, I think he's at the point, I don't know who said it earlier. It might have been Tim or Doug. I don't know which one of them said it, but he does have a budget. But he's also, you can almost tell he's at the end of his tenure. Like, he said a few things there, and he's kind of, I think it was Tim earlier said his job has been to kind of take the bullets for what the ownership has created. Like, the budget is set. That's what he said.
Yeah. And
he has to manage it. Meaning, I don't get to make the budget and how much money we spend. I just get to manage how much money is available for us. I don't think that that's something he would have said in the past. He just kind of took it all and just like, oh, this is what we're doing. Mm-hmm. He also said what the Cardinals do or what their identity is going to be. He didn't say ours. Like, that's the certain words you hear from people. That's letting you know like when Magic Johnson said, I ain't going to be here. Like, I'm out of here. Right. I'm gone.
Yeah.
Like, I ain't going to be here. I think you're starting to see him and his last dance. Like, I can be more open. I can be more honest. People haven't liked me because they assume that I'm the one that creates this budget, but I do have a salary cap. He also said, I don't know if we have the clip, he also said he does wish during his tenure there was a salary cap in baseball because then, it would have made his job easier because now people can't complain. Like you see what the Dodgers do. You see what the Red Sox or the Yankees are able to do and how much they spend. And you're like, well, why don't we do that?
Right.
Because we do have a salary cap. It's not regulated by the Major League Baseball, but it's regulated by the DeWitts. Like there is a number, a hard number that they will not go over. And he's been, his job has been to make sure that you stay under that and do what you can do to get it done. Now, the one question that I would have is, well, why weren't you into the player development part?
Right. That's a great question.
What are you doing? Yeah. Like you have this budget, right? I'm sure there have been years where you were able to exceed in terms of the money that you made. Like you made more. Why didn't you then use some of that for player development? Because you had to have known if other teams are that far advanced, they're going to get better and you're staying the same. And that's a problem. So why didn't you develop? Why didn't you put money into that part? And why is it just now happening, towards at the very end of your tenure? What took place in the time frame for you all not to make that a priority?
Right.
At any point.
Well, I think what he was saying there, if you read between the lines, is that he had a certain budget and that was going to be it. So if he didn't spend it on free agency, which I think he chose to do, there wasn't going to be free agents or enough free agents, and he would have to spend it more in development, which leads to if that's true, this leads to the bigger question of how committed an investor are the DeWitts?
Yeah,
to the team.
That's been a question oftentimes on this text line.
Like I know they love baseball. I know they love owning the Cardinals. I know they're proud. They've made it a proud organization. Okay, but there does come a point in time where the game shifts, and we're here. So, do you want to invest more money into your big league club? Do you want to invest more money into your minor league club? And it seems like the DeWitts have said, that's what we're going to do. We're going to pour our resources and our money into the minor league club. Great. That also means that you're going to get some backlash from fans who watch you sit on the sidelines each and every offseason. I'm fine with that if you win. If you become an excellent drafting and development organization. It's not like you can't win that way. I think it's more difficult than the blank check. Here, let's go sign everybody like the Dodgers do or the Phillies do. But it can be done. You got to do it well, though. And you're behind.
Yeah.
You got to do it better than Cleveland. You got to do it better than Tampa. They've been doing it better for a lot longer than you. You got to do it better than Milwaukee in your own division. So that becomes the new challenge now. We've picked a direction. We're going the player development route. Excellent. Sounds good to me. Thank you, for picking an actual route as opposed to just doing a little bit of each. But now you better be good at it.
There's a text from the 314 and says, and you ultimately save money when you develop young players.
That's very true. Yeah.
Like if you spend the money on the front end, you have better players, you win more games. You probably will sign those players sooner and save yourself money on the back end.
Right.
Where they're not a free agent or they're not getting away from you and you got to pay them these absurd amounts of money in their new contract.
Yeah.
So how do you want to spend the money? You're going to spend it one way or another. How do you want to spend it? And that's kind of been the question, I guess, and they got to figure that out.
Do either of you, because I don't, but do either of you guys have an issue with the approach now? Because I don't. I don't have an issue with them saying, we're going to develop these players. We're going to give them all the resources possible to succeed in the minors, and then when we hit the big league level, they'll be ready to go. As opposed to going for the mid-tier free agents constantly. I'm good with this route. You just got to prove that you can do it.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm at. I don't mind what they're doing right now. It's just, can they do it effectively? And I have question marks surrounding that because of what we've seen in the past.
Yeah.
So, it's just one of those things where I kind of got to see it to believe it, if it's going to work.
Right.
And that just takes time, which unfortunately a lot of fans don't really have the patience for, because we've been in a situation now for a few years where this team has not been competitive, and that's just not what the St. Louis Cardinals are.
By the way, when you just said like the patient part, what were we all being patient for, by the way?
I don't know.
For players to be good in the second half?
Like, in all seriousness,
I've been hearing this for 10 years.
Mo has often said be patient. Be patient. It's almost like we've got something cooking.
Like trust the process?
Yeah, or trust the process.
How'd that work out?
Absolutely did not work. That was a complete disaster in Philadelphia. Sixers, not Eagles. What were we being patient for?
Because if you rushed, I don't know.
Exactly.
I think we were being
I don't know
patient.
why it just hit me when you said that, but like, what were we being patient
We were
for?
being patient for the players that ultimately did not work out here.
Oh, okay. All right. That makes more sense, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, hey, these guys, we trust in these guys. Oh, didn't work out. Sorry.
Well, that didn't work out here.
Right. Didn't work out here. Yes. Other areas where they maximize some of their talents
Well,
seem to work out quite well.
it's because they developed them, Anthony. What do you know?
Yeah, I don't know anything.
Clearly.
You know that. What's trending is next on 101 ESPN. I love attending the Arch Madness tournament that goes on in St. Louis each and every year. It's one of the best sporting events, for my money, when it comes to St. Louis and St. Louis sports and just the environment. It's always a lot of fun. So the Missouri Valley Conference tournament's coming March 6th through the 9th. They've got session 1 starting March 6th, and then it goes all the way through March 9th, which is the championship game. And right now, they're offering that family fun pack ticket offer. It's $104, and what that includes is 4 single session tickets, 4 large sodas, and 4 regular popcorn. So you can head down to the Enterprise Center, see any number of teams. So you pick out your session. Maybe you want to see Drake, who's number 1 right now in the conference, or maybe you want to see if the Illinois State Redbirds can do something. Whatever team you want to follow or whatever matchup you want that you're interested in, get that family fun pack, get the single session tickets, the 4 single session tickets, the 4 large sodas, the 4 regular popcorns. Enjoy the tournament. Enjoy one of the best sporting events all year around when it comes to the Missouri Valley Conference tournament. Enjoy it with the family as well. Arch Madness, March 6th through the 9th.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. Tonight, you can listen to Game 1 of the Four Nations, Canada taking on Sweden. Jordan Binnington will be in between the pipes for Team Canada. We're going to discuss that later in the show. So if you have any thoughts on that and what people have been saying about Jordan Binnington, make sure you text into the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. We'll also discuss more Cardinals baseball as pitchers and catchers report today to Jupiter. We'll dive into some more Mo audio from TMA this morning. But coming up next, we have What's Trending right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
What are the hot topics in the sports world?
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
It's time to find out with
What's Trending? Brought to you by Elite Comfort Experts. Heating and cooling with no gimmicks, just guarantees. EliteComfortExperts.com.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN with Anthony Stalter and Carey Davis. I'm Andrew Marsh, and it's time for What's Trending. Gentlemen, baseball season is here, and that is a bad thing for Anthony Rendon, as the third baseman for the Angels is having hip surgery and is expected to miss a significant amount of time. This is per general manager Perry
Ellis.
Sure. No, that's not his last name, but yeah, he's got a interesting name. I can't.
Ben Mason.
Their general manager. So after signing a 7-year, $245 million contract and debuting with the Angels during the pandemic abbreviated 2020 season, Rendon has not played more than 58 games in any season. Wow. And I sent you guys that tweet last night that I found pretty funny.
That was funny.
Let's see if I can find it right here. I thought this was hilarious. Baseball season was tweeted out by Jared Carabas, and this lady Amanda on X said, "Heartbreaking news for Anthony Rendon."
He said living the best life until his baseball season.
Yeah. No.
Gosh darn it.
Have you guys ever seen another athlete not like their sport or not play their sport?
Ben Simmons.
Much like that's okay.
Ben Simmons.
That's a
Ben
good one.
Simmons is got a huge contract and just said, "Nah, I'm unable to play anymore," and just stopped.
What about, would you put Zion in that category?
Nah, I think he still wants to play. He's just often hurt.
Joel
but-
Embiid is getting there.
Yeah, he's hurt too. And Ben Simmons, for me, man, like, the dude just said,
Yeah,
I'm cool.
I'm good.
Back
Well,
play or not.
You and I have had this conversation before. As you know, I mean, there's some athletes, professional athletes, that just play their sport because they were in the right line when God was giving them the skills, and they're like, cool.
I had a teammate that would have much rather been fishing than playing football.
Yeah,
Like every day.
Big Ben.
No, not not seven. No. But he was just like, nah. What you doing today? Nah. I'd rather be fishing, man. Hey, you don't want to block this linebacker? Nah, not really. You don't want to cover that DB? Nah, man, okay.
Just a job.
Nah, cool.
Did he do it at a good
He was good.
level, though?
Yeah, he was pretty good.
High level?
Just would rather be fishing.
Yeah.
Was he a good fisherman?
I never went fishing with him. I would assume so.
I would hope so.
I think fishing is just like a patient thing. Like, it's not even about the fish. It's just about you on the water.
Does sound
And
nice.
Maybe fish bite, maybe they don't. Maybe you go home empty-handed, maybe you go home with plenty, but you're out there for 3 or 4 hours just by yourself. Mm-hmm. Hey, man, you're a weird guy.
With your thoughts.
Yeah.
It's not sometimes, some days it might not be
Anthony,
bad.
I don't know if I want to be with my thoughts that long.
That's scary. That's scary for me. Yeah. Now I remember going to so one of my buddies who I played high school football with played at Toledo, and Bruce Gradkowski was the quarterback. So my buddy was the tight end. Bruce was the quarterback. So went to go see my beloved Chippewas there and watched them play at the Glass Bowl. And then afterwards, I went out with those guys. And I was struck, like somebody, I don't know, we're starting to talk about like the next day. And I'm like, hey, you guys going to watch football? And a couple of guys are like, nah, we don't care.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Yeah. Like, you don't watch the NFL? They're like, nah. Yeah. Like, you guys play football, aren't you guys? I should love it. I'm like, whatever. It blew me away. But from that point forward, I'm like, all right, some players just do it because they're good at it.
I'm trying to think. In college, I don't know if I watched much NFL football either because Sundays were our practice day.
Yeah.
So we would go.
You practiced after the game?
On Sunday?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sunday you would lift and you would watch film and corrections and things like that.
Practice.
But no, actually, yeah. If you didn't play on Saturday,
then you practice.
Then we would do our walkthrough, and then we called it our Buster Bowl.
Okay.
Hey, guys that weren't good, that didn't play. I played in the Buster Bowl. I was a Buster Bowl All-Star.
Nice.
My first year.
Yeah, you were.
Because you didn't play much on Saturday, or you didn't play at all. So it'd be like the younger guys. You might have a few older veteran guys, been there for a while. Oh, yeah, Sundays under the lights. It's like our Super Bowl, Anthony.
Nice.
When you're a young man, it's when you get to shine.
Hey, you got to force the issue.
Yeah.
Michael McGreevy style.
Yep.
Nice. Okay. Anyways, yeah, that would make sense. You don't watch a lot of the games and stuff. But these guys flat out just didn't care. Like, they didn't. Yeah. It wasn't every one of them. It's just a couple of them. Like, whatever. They could take or leave football. They just played it at a high level. And I wanted to punch them, but I didn't.
That's good.
Because they'd probably ruin me.
Maybe.
But I wanted to punch him because I wanted that skill set.
Yeah. Oh, I get it.
Yeah. Instead, well, second baseman. Go ahead, Marsh.
You're still thinking about that,
That's
aren't
fine.
you?
That's
okay.
fine.
Yeah, we'll move on. We'll move on. Do you guys think this is something or an absolute nothing burger? Obviously, there is a lot of fans in Dallas that are upset still with the whole Luka thing. He made his debut for the Lakers the other night. Jeff Eisenband on X kind of put it perfectly. Just when you thought it couldn't get worse for Mavericks fans, old Dirk Nowitzki was at the Lakers game for Luka's L.A. debut. So the greatest player in Mavs history is supporting the guy who was supposed to be his successor, but who now plays for one of the team's top rivals. Is that something there, or is that kind of a nothing burger?
What do you think,
I think it's a nothing burger. I mean, I'm sure he's gone to L.A. and watched those guys play before. And it happened to be Luka Magic playing for the Lakers now. Mm-hmm. People in Dallas are mad, man.
People are mad. I mean, you think about the Luka trade, right around the same time, you had Brian Schottenheimer being hired as the Cowboys head coach. And he goes, hold my beer.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that I put together one of the most boring coaching staffs that you'll ever see. Not that Matt Eberflus is a bad defense coordinator or anything like that, but you talk about an uninspiring couple of hires. Then your favorite basketball team decides to trade its best player.
The best player.
For a good player that's often injured.
Mm-hmm. And that already got injured.
Yeah.
First day.
So
first day on the job.
Everything good?
Nah, not great.
Is this like just a move that completely ruins a sports franchise? Sure. This type of move, and has this happened before? Do you remember something like a trade or a team not signing a player, re-signing a player that ultimately led to like their demise? And I'm not
Saquon Barkley.
Well, they were already bad though.
I can think of another one.
Oh, who you got?
Oh, Anthony. Nah, just that hits home.
Who?
Just think
who? I want to know.
No,
I want to know now. Say it out loud. Say the quiet part out loud, Anthony.
No.
Let the people know.
Look, I'm just saying, Marsh asked a question.
Okay, Marsh, turn the mics off so he can whisper.
All right, mics are off.
Okay.
All right, you got the mics off?
The mics are off.
This is going to hurt some people.
Yeah, I think so, too.
I was thinking about a certain defenseman here.
Oh. All right, Marsh, you can turn the mics back on.
Yeah, let me turn them. I didn't ask that question either to, generate that response. I was hoping you'd go somewhere else, but I didn't even really think about it until you gave me that stupid look. You're like, stupid. I didn't want to hear it. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
You're like,
I'm just saying. Have things been great since the Blues decided to let Alex Pietrangelo walk?
Why, Anthony, I turned the mics back on. You weren't supposed to say
that. Oh, wow. I told you to turn the mics on. Yeah, what are
That
you
cat's
doing?
out of the bag now.
Other than then, can you think of anybody else?
I could think of a trade that sparked a dynasty in the National Football League.
Cowboys?
Cowboys.
Herschel Walker?
When they traded Herschel Walker
Old Herschel. To
for
your
a
Vikings.
slew of draft picks.
To your Vikings, Marcia.
And that's how Jimmy Johnson
Yeah, it was.
started his dynasty build.
I don't take credit for.
You were a
for
Vikings
that.
fan.
No,
then, right?
I wasn't.
No,
Not
you
at
might
the
not have
time.
been born.
He wasn't even born yet.
Probably not.
Wasn't born.
You and I were kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Marcia.
Marsh,
Even when
Marsh
they-
hadn't been thought of
This
yet.
is the ramifications of that trade is still lingering.
Well, I mean, that's even if they
Minnesota
would have won,
Vikings.
if they would have won while I was still a Rams fan, I wouldn't take credit for it.
You should.
You know?
You should.
I still take credit for the Rams Super Bowl.
The
They were
99?
here in St. Louis. I was a fan of the Rams.
Okay. So you saw us at the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Good.
He was 3. You remember that?
No, he doesn't. What was the first
I
Super
do.
Bowl you remember?
It was that Super Bowl.
See, I told you. I remember my first Super Bowl. I was 3 as well.
I was
time
like
watching
9.
one.
I remember.
What was wrong with me?
I remember being in my
Get your
cousin's
head alight
basement
as a
watching the
kid,
game.
too.
I'm sure I did.
Yeah.
The first one that I vividly remember was the Cowboys-Bills, but I was like,
It was 92.
I was like 27 at that point. You know, like what am I? No,
The one that I
don't remember 3.
like. I remember that Super Bowl, but the one that I really remember, like, wow, I really like this sport, and I am completely heartbroken. Is sitting in my teammate's basement that I played hockey with, Super Bowl party, and watching Adam Vinatieri break my heart as the Patriots defeated the Rams in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there down in the basement. Is he going to miss this field goal? This seems like a long field goal. Nope. Drilled it.
Yeah, mine was the exact opposite when Scott Norwood missed that one. I was like, oh, man, that's heartbreaking.
So that's the one I vividly remember.
Yeah. That was
There's that
heartbreaking.
one. So that was
That was
Bills
first Super Bowl.
Giants. It wasn't Bills Cowboys. It was Bill Giants. That's the one I the first one where I'm like, I felt it.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, he missed that field goal.
91.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I was 9 years old at that
Hey, we got a real good one. I can't believe we didn't even think about it. The 636. How about the Red Sox trading Babe Ruth to the Yankees? They were cursed.
Yeah, that one. That one will do it. Sure. So that will be that sort of run. It'll be that sort of run now that Luka has been traded by the Mavericks. Yesterday on TMA, who was down in spring training, Quinn Matthews talked about playing sports as a kid, and he was funny about it, but he made a really good point that I wanted to get Carey's thoughts on, since he's a former professional athlete that also coaches. That's next on 101 ESPN. interesting prospect. Quinn Matthews was on with the guys from TMA yesterday, and one of the things that Tim the guys asked Quinn was about his childhood and playing sports when he was a kid, and Quinn kind of ran through some of the sports that he had played and whether or not he was any good at it. And then he made one he made one really, I think, salient point that, Carey, I'm sure you'll agree with, but I wanted to pick your brain on it. But here's Quinn Matthews yesterday on TMA.
Baseball, I wasn't very good for the longest period of time. Yeah, I didn't throw very hard. I mean, I don't think I threw a fastball harder than 80 miles an hour until my sophomore year of high school, and I mean, I didn't probably throw it harder than 90 until my professional, debut. So, I don't know. I just wasn't very good at baseball. I just enjoyed playing it. All my buddies played it, so I had a good time.
How'd you get so much better? What happened? Long toss? Is it? Or
no, I mean, I think playing other sports has really been the biggest benefit in terms of, well, one, staying healthy, and two, just developing other muscles and other skill sets that, all sports are kind of connected at the end of the day because, well, you have to be an athlete, just a different type of athlete in each and every one. And I think that's the longevity game, is how athletic can you be and how long can you stay healthy. And I kind of credit my soccer and basketball background to that.
I love that. I think we've become too specialized right now. I'm talking about like young kids, parents. These parents want these children to, pick one sport, and then they throw a whole bunch of money at it, and that's all they play all year round. Well, burnout factor's one thing. And at some point, these kids are going to get burned out playing the same sport over and over and over again, or at least there's a chance they could. But I think what Quinn Matthews said, which was interesting, is that from an injury standpoint, but really from a developmental standpoint, developing new muscles, developing flexibility, play as many sports as you can, because different sports obviously require different muscle groups. And Carey, I'd have to imagine you agree with that.
100%. I tell people all the time, I think, if you're solely focusing on one sport, right, let's say you're a defensive back, and all you do all year long is training for defensive back, right? You're using the same muscles over and over because you're doing the same drills. Mm-hmm. Now you're getting better at it, but you're overusing those same muscles. You're backpedaling, you're planting, pushing. Whereas if you play multiple sports, you're getting different movements in each sport. There are different movements in basketball than there are in baseball. Then you got throwing motions. You're using different things, different parts of your body to different mechanics to be able to have success in those different sports. So for me, it is always important for guys to play multiple sports, especially growing up. I don't think a 10-year-old needs to be dialed into basketball training every day of the week, 3 hours a day, right?
Right.
For 12 months. That's just my opinion. Mm-hmm. You can do what you want to do. But I think playing multiple sports allows that athlete to know how to manage, how to move their body in different ways, know how to, just be able to be acclimated in different things in different areas. So, and you're not overusing those same muscles again and again, which eventually is going to tear it up. So playing multiple sports, doing multiple things is always, in my opinion, one of the best options.
Yeah, I just think that now, youth sports is developing like players and not athletes. Like they're just strictly a player for that specific sport.
Sure.
And, you look at some of the greats, right? Like one guy that comes to my mind is Joe Mauer. Joe Mauer, Hall of Famer. He played football, basketball, and baseball in high school and was elite at like all three of them.
Right.
But like that allowed him to be one of the best at his position, and he moved to first base, but after being a catcher, but like, man, that guy was unbelievable. Like Cooper DeJean,
I just saw the video.
Another
of that,
great athlete, right? That guy played basketball and was dunking in high school. Like his hand-eye, his vertical, like maybe he doesn't have that if he's just strictly football.
Right.
He played baseball and ran track. I think he batted over 500
there you go.
And won state in the 100-meter hurdle and something else. Like he was like, when you have a guy that can do all of those things, allow him to do it.
Yeah.
Now, even a guy like LeBron James, he played football. Allen Iverson was probably one of the best football players in his area coming out before he decided to just play basketball. So, if you're able to do, a lot of these guys are multi-sport athletes. They're not solely focused on one thing. Like you see a lot of these, like I said again, a lot of parents, oh, my son wants to make it to to this level. No, you playing multiple sports will help them, because even a sport like wrestling, I have a lot of my kids that I coached, I wanted them to wrestle because it teaches you how to stay low, how to drive through a tackle. All of those things are elements that help you in football. So, doing multiple things, I'm always a fan of that.
I think one thing that I took from what Quinn Matthews just said, and I think this is important for young athletes, he talked about not being that good at baseball. Like he was throwing like in the 80s. And I feel like there's a lot of kids now, and we'll stick with baseball, that think, well, my fastball it's not that good compared to these other kids. Like that guy right there who's on the cusp of being a Major League Baseball player, like he wasn't the best on his team, but he kept working, and he figured it out. And now he is on the precipice of being a St. Louis Cardinal. Like, so if you feel like you're not at the same speed as maybe some of your peers as a young player, like, don't get too frustrated about it. Just keep working.
Yeah, and I thought Martin Kilcoyne brought up a great point during that interview. After Quinn Matthews had left, Martin Kilcoyne said, if you notice, Quinn Matthews threw it out there, just a left-handed pitcher. And Martin's point to that was the knock on Quinn Matthews entering the draft. He's just a left-handed pitcher.
Yeah.
Kind of like nothing special, nothing to see here, but he is a lefty. And Martin Kilcoyne said, don't let that fool you. He's got the California cool kind of personality to him, but there's a chip on his shoulder. I love that. How many athletes that we've talked about, how they're the great, certainly Michael Jordan's the poster child of that, where he's got the chip on his shoulder. So I think Quinn Matthews, athletic player, young guy, hungry, great calm demeanor, yet he's got a chip on his shoulder. I think he's one of the more intriguing players heading into spring training. I did want to talk about one comment made by MD 2020 in the Snake Pit, and the message scrolled up already, but I'll paraphrase. MD 2020 just said, look, it's so expensive right now to have kids in sports. Some parents can't afford to have the kids in multiple sports. Totally get it. Scheduling too. Scheduling's tough as well. I will say, I think there's a lot of select leagues out there, or select teams that are unnecessarily expensive. I do think there are some reasonably priced leagues. It's still expensive. To MD 2020's point, it's still expensive. And to have, we've got 3 kids, only 2 of them right now are in sports, but almost the entire week is filled up.
Oh, it's nonstop.
My daughter Madeline's in dance and basketball. Dance Tuesday night, basketball Wednesday night, dance Thursday, Killian's in soccer on Thursdays. Before long, he'll be in baseball, and Madeline will be in softball. Killian will be in spring football. Like, there's so much going on. But I do think it's important for the kid to have those extra activities, and if they do love sports, man, play them all.
Keep them involved.
Yeah, absolutely. Even if it's not a league, you play outside.
Splashback Deuce has a good one. Fire up Chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, definitely Splashback. Did you get it? You absolutely get it. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. What do you say you do here, Mo? At least for this season. I was thinking about this. Like, why the final year? What is he? There's got to be a reason. There's got to be a purpose. Maybe Mo indicated that earlier today when he joined TMA. That's next on 101 ESPN.
Hey, fellas, if you could benefit from a little extra in the bedroom, well, Blue Chew can help. By now, you probably know that Blue Chew is an online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis in a chewable form and at a fraction of the cost. So what are you waiting for? You need to try it. Blue Chew is an online prescription service, so there are no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, no waiting in the line at the pharmacy, and it ships directly to your door in a discreet package. And if you're ready for a great offer, how about free? Go to BlueChew.com, consult with a licensed medical provider and get your first month free, and then you'll be ready to chew it and do it. Your partner wants you to do whatever it takes to make your sex life better. Blue Chew is your secret weapon in the bedroom or wherever you get it on. Turn oh no into oh yes. BlueChew.com. You got to get to it. Get to it right now. Valentine's Day is around the corner. Again, your partner doesn't want you to get flowers. They don't want you to get chocolate. They want you to get Blue Chew so you all can chew it and do it. BlueChew.com.
What Mo is trying to say is his philosophy had nothing to do with the team being crappy. It's just all the DeWitt's not spending money. I don't buy that because he's the one that dismantled everything and brought his philosophy in. We were winning under Schultz. Once he stepped in and said, no, this isn't how you play baseball, that's when we started losing. Not had anything to do with how much money the DeWitt spent. It has to do with him and his philosophy, and that's what's ruined the Cardinal organization. Him and him alone.
All right, that was from Janet, the one and only Janet, who left us a mic drop. All on Mo, she says. I think they're all culpable. That's my opinion. You got ownership, and as you say, crap rolls downhill. But to Janet's point, it's not like Mo didn't have a heavy hand in where we are today with the Cardinals. And she said it very well. And yes, there seemed to be a turning point when Mike Schultz was relieved of his duties. Philosophical differences.
Was it before that, though?
Was it before that they started to lose their way?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
So
I think that was part of the journey, quite frankly. But in 2019, they did make the NLCS, so things weren't all bad.
They make the World Series, Anthony?
No, they did not.
Okay.
They got the rear ends kicked in by
That's all people care
Washington.
about here, Anthony.
Okay. That's Carey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. It's Fast Lane on 101 ESPN 305. Your time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Don't forget, we're asking, with pitchers and catchers reporting, where is your excitement level for the 2025 MLB season? Where is your excitement level for the 2025 MLB season? Leave us a mic drop via the 101 ESPN app. So a scale of 1 to 10, what's your excitement level for Major League Baseball season?
You asking me?
Yeah.
For the season or for the Cardinals? Because 10. I'm Dodgers.
Okay.
You see what they did this offseason?
You just had to ask.
Did you see
What about
they've
for the
done
Cardinals?
this season, this offseason? They
What
are
about for the
ready.
Cardinals
The
season?
Dodgers are ready to repeat. I mean, Shohei Ohtani, he's going to be pitching this year. Is he going to be pitching? Are we going to get to see this man be a Cy Young and an MVP in the same season? It's going to be outstanding watching these guys. Teoscar Hernandez back in the fold, right? Mookie Betts, you're going to put him at one position. He can play wherever. He could be a Cardinal technically, but he probably costs a little bit too much. But Mookie Betts doing his thing. Are you Freddie Freeman, man, in the first? Are you excited? Yes.
Dodger boy.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Cardinals. Where's your excitement level for the Cardinals?
5.
5?
Yeah.
That's higher than me.
What?
About 3.5.
3.5?
Yeah. About 3.5.
I'm at a 5 because I kind of want to see how it plays out, man.
Okay.
I mean, maybe some of these young guys are can play, right? Maybe
It's entirely possible.
Maybe they can play.
It has happened before.
You know?
So Mo was on with TMA, but anyways, leave us a mic drop. What's your excitement level for the Cardinals or the 2025 MLB season? If you want to, separate the two, you can. It's up to you. It's your mic drop. I posed this to the guys in the show meeting. What is Mo really doing in his final season? Like, well, what are you doing? What are you here for?
You know what he's here for.
To just get money off the books?
No. What he's here for him?
Yeah.
It happens every 2 weeks. Why the hell would I leave that?
Yeah, no. No, fair point.
That's what he's here for.
A Cardinal win?
No. What I'm saying is a Cardinal win every 2 weeks. Damn, Marsh. No, I'm asking from the Cardinal standpoint.
I don't know what the hell he's here for.
That's what I'm asking.
He already sounds like he's checked out.
Right. Well, here's Mo yesterday on when asked, or earlier this today with TMA. Here's Mo when asked if he's been bored this offseason.
Historically, my off seasons have been knee deep in free agency, knee deep in potential trades. But as I stated earlier, this is a transition year. I think everybody thinks of my job as simply like, okay, what do the 26 men on the field look like? That's it. But my job, is much broader than that. And so when you ask, was I bored this offseason? The answer is no, because we were spending a lot of time, really taking a look at our infrastructure, what that's going to look like moving forward. And I think the most important thing I can do for this next group of leaders and leadership is not to put a lot of speed bumps in their way or roadblocks. And so, that was the focus. I think from a business standpoint, it was kind of an exciting thing to be a part of. And I certainly learned a lot. And so from that standpoint, it was different. But I understood that. I knew what I signed up for. And, I'm looking forward to this final year. I've loved every moment I've had in St. Louis. I've been so fortunate to be a part of a lot of successes. I certainly feel like when you look back at my career, I hope you would say more winning than losing. And at some point, I hope I brought a little smile to your face along the way. But it's tough because, I think if you read social media, I'm, probably not winning a lot of popularity votes right now. And I get it, but that's not why I do it.
I got a question. So,
sure.
Couple things. I don't think Mo is a bad person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think, some of the hate and slander that he gets, they don't like him. It's sports. You're not going to agree with everything people do, and that's fine.
Yeah.
I don't think he's a bad person.
He's been here a long time, too, so there's a lot of built-up frustration.
I thought the interview this morning was kind of funny, too.
Yeah, he had a good time. Right? My question is, if you know that you're moving on from one person to the next, why would that one person still be in control? Why wouldn't...
Well, is he?
Well, okay, well, then if he's not, then why is he the one
exactly
doing the talking? Why is he the one that is out front and out in front of it? If it's going to be Hein Bloom as the next person, well, you probably should have just full stop. Okay, here, this is what I normally do. You start doing it, I'll play the background because I ain't going to be here next year. It don't matter. Nobody wants to hear what I have to say.
Yeah.
They don't care. They're tired of hearing me, and I'm tired of hearing them. So I'm getting the hell on. I guess, why are we hearing from him, and why is he knee-deep in everything when the next person should kind of be running it the way that they see fit? Because if you're doing something, if I'm taking over for you, and we have this plan in place, but you got another year to do it the way that you've been doing it, and I'm like, dude, you should have stopped that 4 years ago, but you're going to do it one more year?
Right. Yeah, why wait?
That's strange to me. It's not like you can't find something else to do, or another position, or it takes value away. You can still be, it's a bunch of offensive coordinators that don't call a damn play, right? they got the title.
Right.
You are the OC, but you ain't going to call nothing. You're going to
get to call plays.
Keep your headset on and just hold the card up. You're not calling nothing, right? It's cool.
I'll call the play, and you just agree with me.
You just agree, right? You'll get all the glory when we do great.
Yeah.
I'm confused.
So that's why I posed the question. Like, why wouldn't you start it earlier? The only logical explanation that I have is that they all sat around. So the DeWitts, Mo, Bloom, and they had a conversation about what this final year would look like for Mo. They already know that the transition year is underway and that Bloom will take over in 2026. I wonder, Carey, you said, why is Mo in the forefront as opposed to the background? I wonder if the idea was, Bloom, you get started, you do your thing, but you don't have to answer to the media or anything like that this year. We're going to give you a year of just flat out, you get to work. You get to work, you can do, you can go to, if it's player development, you're maybe it's a full year, or now 2 years since Bloom was here last year. 2 years now of going to the different spring training sites, scouting, developing, without having to really talk to the media, because Mo will handle that. And Mo will also have to figure out the contract situation.
But if that's the case, then come next year, they're going to be asking Bloom, well, were you the one doing all this? Well, why the hell was Mo talking to us? If you're the one doing it, how does he have so much information about what's going on? You wouldn't know as much.
He may have the ability to speak with the media, but not the full power. Like, we don't know what the power structure is right now.
This goes
it's not
back
like Mo
to,
was he hasn't made any deals.
But this goes back to our conversation yesterday about Army and Mo, and the transparency, and then the lack of the lack of transparency on the other side. Like, I don't know what the structure is. I don't know what they're doing, but I do wonder, if you're moving on, why are you talking to anyone? No disrespect. Like, if you're moving on, if this is no longer going to be the position that you're in next year.
Oh, it's weird. I completely agree with you. It's weird. That's why I posed the question. But if I'm going to come up with something, that would, to me, that'd be it. Hey, Mo, you're gonna basically act like a shield for a year. You're here anyways. We're gonna pay you anyways. Instead of shifting you next to Gershie and giving you a special assignment projects, like, you're gonna still talk to the media. You're gonna do that, but you're really not gonna have much power anymore.
So, here's my thought process to this: is, do you want Chaim Bloom to come in and be the guy that gets rid of everybody? And that's how he starts his tenure, as he's the guy that got rid of Nolan Arenado.
Right.
He already got rid of Mookie Betts, right? And we all kind of throw that on him. He's the guy.
It is part of the job, though.
It is. But, I think with Chaim Bloom, for me, like, this offseason, the more I think about it, does it make sense to bring in a bunch of guys in the offseason if they aren't good, and then all of a sudden you have contracts and your new guy is stuck with these people? Like, that, to me, that doesn't really make sense.
Yeah.
And maybe he does what you said, have a little bit more to get essentially ready for next year. Instead of being here and talking to the media, maybe he is going to different places, and he's trying to do different things to sort of prep for next season.
Right.
And Mo is essentially the guy that has to work out all these deals and the Arenado thing. And I mean, he's been here for so long. He's at the contract. Like, let's just let him ride it out.
Right.
It is what it is. Like, to me, this season is sort of a whatever season anyways. So next year is the one that I'm really looking forward to, and that's sort of the fresh start.
Well, again, yeah, if you're hitting the ground running from a player development standpoint, Bloom, you do that. Mo, you're going to have to clean up some of the other issues that you have here, including talking to the media and dealing with the Arenado stuff and all that. And they're just split. They're just kind of splitting the work of the GM, the president. But then Bloom, a year from now, it's all him. But he didn't have to take that unnecessary, or not unnecessary. He didn't have to do what most GMs have to do, which is come in and clean up everything first.
Well, and also, what if Bloom is in the same situation as Mo and he can't trade Arenado? Are people now well, Chaim Bloom, he can't trade Arenado. Now he's stuck with this and blah, blah, blah. And
right.
I'm sure there's things behind the scenes that they have to take care of first anyways.
Right.
And maybe that takes a year or so. But for me, it kind of doesn't really matter to me, because ultimately I don't have high expectations for this season anyways.
Yeah.
So if you want to get your frustrations out, if Mo's not here and the team still stinks, who are you going to blame then? Well, you're just going to blame the DeWitts? Are you going to blame Chaim Bloom now? Let's just wait a year and see how it all unfolds.
Right.
To me, it really doesn't matter.
By the way, when Mo was talking, all I kept hearing was the question, what is it that you do? And then Mo going to well, look, I already told you. I deal with the damn customers so the engineers don't have to. I have people skills. I'm good at dealing with people. Can't you understand that? What the hell is wrong with you people? Not actually answering what he does. Just, look, I do a lot around here, all right? I know you just think that I'm responsible for the 26 people on the roster, but I do a lot. I work with the people. That's kind of what I got from Mo when he was speaking earlier. You guys too? No? Okay, moving on. All right. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Got some mic drops? Let's get to some mic drops. Where's your excitement level for the Cardinal season? Carey and I, about an 8.5.
Yep.
Combined. What about you? That's next on 101 ESPN. If you're a man, you're getting a little bit older, and you're feeling to yourself, you know what? I don't like this. I don't like how I feel. I don't like not being competitive and at my best. Then go down to Mentality. They'll ask you a couple of simple questions. When I say they, I mean they're board-certified physicians. They'll ask you a couple of questions. How are you feeling? Maybe you feel like your energy levels are low. Maybe you're fatigued throughout the day. Maybe you got constant mood swings. Every time you walk through the door, everything's ticking you off and you don't know why. Then you go to work and you're not focused, or you keep avoiding the gym, and that's not you. They'll ask you simple questions like that. They'll draw your blood, and then Mentality will put you on their program if you are low in testosterone, because fatigue, low energy, weight gain, lack of muscle, mood swings, irritability, all that are symptoms of low testosterone. If you got something else going on health-wise, they'll be able to pick up on that right away and get you to your physician with good information. But when it comes to Mentality, they give you your edge back if you're a man. That energy, that focus, the drive inside of the gym, inside the office, inside your home. It helps make you feel like you're at your best. The anxiety, the mood swings, all of that gets quelled, and you feel like you're young again. That's what Mentality does. LowTUSA.com, 2 locations, one in Chesterfield, one in South County. Tell them Jamie and Anthony sent you in there. It's Mentality. Last night on 101 ESPN, pitchers and catchers are reporting. So where's your excitement level for the 2025 MLB or Cardinals season? Gator from the Snake Pit just brought up a good point. He says Anthony and I are both at a 6.9.
Okay.
I feel you, Gator. I'm with you. So what about you? What's your excitement level? We asked for your mic drops, and you delivered. At least a couple of you did. Here's Kevin on his excitement level for the Cardinals or the MLB season.
You know, as pitchers and catchers report today, I'm really not super excited about baseball season. Like, will I watch some games? Yeah. Will I end up going to some games? Yeah. But unlike the Blues, where even in their, little downslide right now, I'm making it an appointment to watch as many games as I can. Like, the Cardinals they're gonna be about what they were last year, I think. Like, Nolan Arenado being here, if he's here, he needs to be one of your best hitters. If Nolan Gorman is here playing 400, 500, 600 at bats, great. But when you strike out 40% of the time, that's not giving your team a chance to win. That's leaving you stranded with runners on, and it creates a black hole in your lineup. Like, sure, he has 30 home runs, but he's 40% of the time is getting you guys an out, a free out. Their offense has to be miles better than what it was last year. And, maybe the one bright spot is, Jordan Walker seeing the continued development of Mason Wynn, and I want to see what some of our young pitchers can do. Outside of that, really not all super interested. Thanks, guys. Keep up the good work.
You too, Kevin. We appreciate you, man. One of the things that I really took out of that was, one thing that Kevin nailed was like fundamentals. I think, Carey and I, tell me if I'm wrong on this. I think Cardinals fans would be okay with a quote-unquote youth movement or a quote-unquote retool if they knew that the young players were getting an opportunity, homegrown talent, they're getting an opportunity, and they're playing a certain way. Yeah. They're playing with that old school, quote-unquote, fundamental approach, moving runners over, stealing bases, fundamental, thinking the game when you're at the box. What does the situation call for right now? Fundamentals. Defensively, not making boneheaded errors, not airmailing the cutoff man. Yeah. What Kevin said there about moving runners over and things like that falls into that category of fundamentals. So I think Cardinals fans would be on board with an 83, 85 win season, knowing that there's going to be some growing pains, yet the team is playing in a fundamental way. That is what I think.
I don't disagree with that at all. I think because it gives you hope, right? If you're not as talented, but you're fundamentally sound, you'll find a way to win games.
Sure. And
you know that these players are talented to a degree, and they'll only get better. The more games they play, the more opportunities they get, and the more experience they get. So I agree with that. If you are able to master the fundamentals and, not beat yourselves, you can have a pretty good season.
Yep.
I think that's important. And it's fun, baseball. Like, doing the little things, like you said, sacrifice bunt, like whatever it takes to get the runner over, hit and run, the minor things that become major in games. I think if you're able to have success in that area, you'll be a good team. But that's part of the development that we've heard that has been lacking.
Right.
Right. Those are things you learn. It's not just, all right, fella, go up there and swing the bat, swing as hard as you can. Mm-hmm. Keep your eyes open. Keep your eye on the ball, Anthony.
Right.
Like, huh? Have you seen those videos where the dad tells him to keep his eye on the ball and they on the tee and they put their eye literally to the ball? Like, yeah, keep your eye on the ball. Okay. Eye right on. Like, right. Yeah, what do you mean? So.
Boy, that's some real development right there.
When I throw the glove, or when I throw the ball, you move the glove.
Yeah.
Smalls. You killed me, Smalls.
So.
Gotta watch out for the curve.
It's going to be. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
Let's hear from Evan. Again, we're taking mic drops on your excitement level for the Cardinals for the 2025 MLB season. Here's Evan.
Hey guys, just wanted to weigh in on my excitement level of the Cardinals. It's up in the air because there are two answers, and they both dictate if Arenado's here or not. If Arenado's still here by opening day, about a solid 2. Like it's been discussed, that 600 ABs that now have to go to him when we need to see what we have. I know the last couple of years we've been saying it, but this is the full year where it's sink or swim. If we do get rid of Arenado, I'm at about a 7. I'm interested to see if Matz, for example, is just a dud, or Michaelis is a dud, if the Cardinals would be willing just to cut loose one of them and we see Tinkens, Gwen Matthews, someone. I'm also curious with how the Cardinals have been talking up J.J. Weatherholt. If, say, he comes out swinging and looks really good in spring training, if we could see him at the end of the year. Maybe we have a Jackson Holiday situation.
Okay, well, it certainly would be great if we did. I'm pessimistic about the Cardinals bringing up some of the young talent throughout the year.
The young position players or the young
talent period. You know, because Evan he had mentioned like J.J. Weatherholt, the first-round pick from a couple years ago, somebody that is appearing in these top 100 lists in Major League Baseball for top prospects. I'm pessimistic that the Cardinals are going to bring up some of these young guys to give them a taste, because we really haven't seen it. I mean, like Mason Wynn 2 years ago, they brought him up right at the tail end of the year. I remember people begging, lost season, bring him up.
Yeah.
And I realized there's a clock that's involved and all that, and you want to be smart with it. I'm not overlooking that. But just in general, are the Cardinals going to be more aggressive showcasing their young talent?
You know what would make me more excited is if I knew or I felt that the best players would get the opportunity to play.
You know damn well that's not going to be the case.
Then that's why I'm not excited.
Okay.
Because
what you speak of should not be spoken of.
Well, that's the way of the world, Anthony. Nah. You earn your right to play, to fight. You earn the right to part. No, okay, that's a different song.
That's you got to fight.
You fight for your right to party. I knew something like that.
You got to fight for your right.
Bruce Springsteen.
No, that's part. It's
Travis Kelce.
Bruce Springsteen is.
It's not Party in the USA. Party in the USA.
Party in the USA is Miley Cyrus.
Yeah, no, definitely not Bruce Springsteen. Born in the USA.
I don't know who it is.
You don't know who it is?
Born in the USA.
No, you have to fight for your right to party.
For your right. I just told you who I thought it was.
That's Beastie Boys.
Oh.
So no, not Bruce Springsteen.
Starts with a B, though.
It certainly does. Trophy husband. Creed.
Yeah.
All right, let's hear from Wes, who left this mic drop. What's Wes's excitement level over the Cardinals for 2025 season?
Hey, guys. It's bad guy Wes here.
Oh man. Yes, yeah.
Excitement for the Cardinals season, my voice. Just to give you an idea, I just put my first payment down to renew my Blue season tickets for the 25-26 season. Dropped a good amount of change there. The Cardinals have a special today, $10 tickets with $10 cards cash. And I don't know if I want to drop $10 on that.
Wow.
That's how some people feel, though.
Wow.
Not $10, not even $10. Like, that's it. And cut it off and left.
I'm going to put this right back in my pocket. I'm going to save this.
Might need it for something later.
Might need it for something more important later.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. I think, I don't know, Anthony. I think most people feel the same way. They don't know what to expect. They don't know who's going to play where. They don't know if guys are actually going to get an opportunity. You know how frustrating it has to be as a younger player to know that you earn the right to play and still don't get the right to play? You know how awful that is, setting your younger play, like what it does to your confidence.
Yeah.
Like I say this all the time, that sports is not all about how athletic you are, how much God-given talent you have. a large part of it is how much confidence you have. I would literally, in a room of future Hall of Famers, tell myself I was the best player in that locker room.
And you were.
And I meant it. And I meant it.
You felt it.
You better believe it.
Yeah.
But that's the mentality that you have to have. And when you ruin a young player's, when you ruin their confidence, you take something away from them. If they know, man, I've been playing my butt off, I've been killing it, I've been doing a great job, those are the players that should be playing every single day. I don't care who they are. You don't have a team full of all-stars or future Hall of Famers. So whoever the hell is batting well, whoever is pitching well, whoever is fielding well, you're in the lineup today until further notice. But that's not going to happen, and so therefore I just downgraded my my level of interest.
2?
Yeah, 3.
Okay.
Yeah. Frustrated. Just
it didn't take long.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
about an hour and a half.
Yep.
Marsh, that's a new record.
Yep.
Well, since he just mentioned that, what is how beneficial is it to have a young, hungry team? That's next on 101 ESPN. Speaking of states, right now, Underdog Fantasy is available in our state. So we can play Underdog Fantasy right here in Missouri. And Underdog is one of the leading sports apps. You can play in our state. And if you want to win 1,000 times your money, you can do so at Underdog. Just pick a couple of players, whether it's NBA, NHL, eventually Major League Baseball, to go higher or lower on their stats, build your team, and then you can win, again, up to 1,000 times your money. And with Underdog Fantasy, you could play, like I said, NBA. You can also play college basketball, too. And we got a lot of college basketball fans here in Missouri. You can actually do higher or lower on college basketball stats as well. It's a lot of fun to play. All you have to do, download the Underdog app, sign up using my promo code Anthony to unlock the special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. So you got your favorite teams going on tonight in college basketball. You could go to the Underdog app. Use that promo code Anthony. Get the $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit and join in on the fun. Again, promo code Anthony. You claim your special offer today and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly upon your first deposit, and then you can rake in a bunch of money just for playing your higher or lower stats, the gut feels that you have on certain players. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Arizona, Massachusetts, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. In New York, call the 24/7 HOPE line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. You just heard the guy with the cool voice. Sweden taking on Team Canada tonight right here on 101 ESPN. You can listen to the first game of the Four Nations tournament. Jordan Binnington and Colton Parayko of your St. Louis Blues will be representing Team Canada. Jordan Binnington has been named the starter for the Canadians. And again, you can listen to that tonight right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. If you've missed anything from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page and you'll find all of our full shows there. And it's all brought to you by the Schaefer Door Company. How beneficial is it to have a young and hungry team? We'll discuss that next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
We got a whole bunch of young, hungry guys in there that are just motivated. Everybody's ready to kind of show who they are. I mean, we had a couple guys kind of already show that last year, you know, like the Masons. Donnie's been doing it. Burley's been doing it. But those guys, I mean, we've had a lot of young, hungry guys. So being in that clubhouse it's just kind of cool to see, like, that we all have this opportunity and we're able to do something with it. Rather we do well or we don't, but we have an opportunity. So I feel like that's what's most important.
That was Victor Scott talking to the morning after yesterday, talking about the young, hungry Cardinals. And as Marsh kind of threw it out there in the Sports Center update, how beneficial is it to have a young, hungry team? I think it is beneficial, but I gotta ask: can this qualify as a young, hungry team?
As a young team, they can be hungry. Are you saying are they young?
Someone like you really like young. We don't know better. We don't know this is a retool. I don't think they fall into that category.
Well, I think you have some elements of it. I think a lot of them are all under the age of 25, 26 years old. So they're relatively young in age and in years of experience, right? So you got Victor Scott, who's obviously a rookie last year, Mason Wynn, Jordan Walker, all those guys are under the age of 24, I believe.
I think you mentioned all of them, though. Like Wilson. So if
Wilson is not.
Wilson
he's
Contreras is 32. The catchers are 26 and 24.
Gorman?
Nolan Gorman is 24.
Yeah, he's another one.
Arenado is 33.
I mean, not counting him.
Burleson's 26. Donovan's 28. Newt is 27.
Yeah, Newt and Donovan are not the young crew.
No.
But you got a handful of younger guys that should be playing a lot.
Your pitching staff, Eric Fetty's 31. Sonny Gray is 35.
Now, what if he's talking
Steven
about
Matz is 33. Michaelis is 36.
He's not talking about those guys.
We'll talk about this later, but like
we are.
Yeah, but he's not. When
this is not a young, hungry
When he
team.
says young, hungry guys, he's talking about himself, Mason Wynn, Jordan Walker, Siani, Nolan Gorman, McGreevy, Graceffo, Tink Hintz, like Quinn.
And how many of those guys are going to play significant roles?
Goes back to what I just said last segment. That's the young, hungry guys that he's talking about. And them getting an opportunity to play if they perform well.
This, like I said, we're going to get to this later, but this is projected to be the youngest Cardinals lineup since 1994. So if you want to put it in that sense, then yeah, these are a group of young, hungry players. But, you do mix in the veterans here and there, which you need veterans on the team for sure to kind of point you in the right direction. I think you may have had too many last year. Otherwise, maybe last year is the young, hungry season that you needed to have. But I don't think the Cardinals had the Liberty Bells, essentially, to ride that out and see what that looked like coming off of a terrible 2023. We've talked about this. I think the Cardinals sometimes manage their team in a scared way.
In a risk-averse way.
Risk-averse way. because that's very risk adverse.
Yes.
Oh, we can't go into the next year after being terrible in 2023 and have all these young guys play. We don't know what they're going to do.
Right. And we need to make sure that this fan base is proud. So let's bring back a whole bunch of different former Cardinals and we'll be good. I think they really did believe that. I think they believed that they could win the division by just bringing in some quote unquote innings eaters, and they pacified the fans by throwing them a couple of former Cardinals. That's really what they did. And then they won 83 games and they spun it as, "Hey, you're welcome." Like, no, that wasn't a great plan. Carey, you've been saying it. Yeah, Carey, you've actually said it several times, and Marsh just echoed it. They could have really jump-started things a year ago. Mm-hmm. Instead, they took another year to say, we'll try it again.
Do you think, though, that the Cardinals bringing in those older former Cardinals last season was more of something that will benefit this group now rather than benefiting the group last year on record-wise?
Say that again.
Or am I giving them too much credit?
Can you say that again? I want to make sure
do you think
right.
them bringing in all the former Cardinals and the veteran leadership, was that more beneficial for this group of players for this season and next season rather than the record of last year's team?
I think they were trying. No, I don't know if there was a huge benefit to having all those veterans in there for some of these young guys. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm asking. Are we going to see the benefits
of
having those players this year and next year rather than seeing what that would have been record wise? They didn't bring them in last year to improve the record. It was more so to usher in a new era of Cardinals baseball, and they've done their job, and now we're moving on. Or am I just giving them too much credit for that? You think it was strictly record wise? We thought we'd be better.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Now, a couple of people are saying, so Jason said if Arenado and Goldie would have hit even remotely to the back of their baseball cards, they would have won the division. And a couple of people are agreeing with that. Yeah, maybe. But you're getting bounced in the first round, and I think that's ultimately the problem, right? That's ultimately where the frustration lies. It has been they just get in and see what happens, hoping that they're the Arizona Diamondbacks from 2 years ago every year.
How'd that work? Did that banner?
They made it to the World Series.
Yeah, no, that banner that they put up for winning it was amazing. It's an amazing feat.
Oh, they didn't win it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they just made it.
You just want to get there. Just get to the party. It don't matter if you dance with the girl.
All right, just show up, they say.
Yeah.
What a waste of time. Yeah. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Andrew Marsh, I'm Anthony Stalter. Why don't we do Bet the Board next? How'd you do yesterday, CD? Did you get your pick there?
I did.
It's not great to be a Michigan Wolverine.
Oh, Michigan. No.
Good teams win. Great teams cover.
They didn't either.
No,
Oh,
they won. Yeah.
They didn't cover.
Nah. No. In either half. Marsh.
Sorry to hear that. Sorry.
How about those Raptors?
Oh, they got their
Jamie's
butt kicked,
rolling
didn't they?
right now. Jamie's rolling. He has taken a couple of heavy dogs the last 2 nights, including Toronto last night.
Well, he texted me today, so I know he'd been texting you.
Yeah.
He texted me today.
Oh, he did? Because, I was about to say, I didn't get a text from him.
No, he texted me. He told me what he wanted.
Okay.
So I'll let you know in a minute.
It's Jamie's month to win right now. We'll see what his pick is next on 101 ESPN. So since Jamie Rivers is on vacation, we're going to pause the Gauntlet Championship with Hal until when Jamie returns. I think Jamie will be back on Monday. So we do need a new Gauntlet contestant. We'll just have another Gauntlet contest going on. 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line. So if you want to play in the Gauntlet today, you can. We've already notified Hal that he'll have to wait until Jamie Rivers is back next week. Sure, he's fine with that. Get a chance to prepare, studying for everything. Hockey, baseball, football, and random. Just basically anything in the world, Carey.
All of it.
All of it. All right, speaking of Jamie, I think Jamie's got himself a commanding lead now, right? This thing's basically over.
Yeah.
He's doing well.
He's got 6 points to all of us three's 3.
Ouch.
We all have 3 except for Jamie.
Ouch. Now, Jamie has been sending me his pick, but I looked down. I did not get one. But
Yeah,
Carey, you said that you had it.
Yeah, he was adamant about this. Yeah, what the hell have LeBron and Luka ever done? Mm-hmm. I'm like, hey, Jamie, they're pretty good. He said, no, give me the Jazz +9.
Okay.
I said, wow.
That's another big dog.
He has been, but I don't know, man. It's crazy.
That's shocking he didn't go with his home country in
Toronto
Team
again?
Canada. You know?
Oh, for the
Four Nations. Yeah, they're playing tonight.
I don't know why. I'm surprised, too.
Interesting.
But he has often said that he is, in fact, an American.
That is true. They're not playing tonight.
Yep. Yeah, so
he loves the NBA.
Sense.
Yeah, and he's been doing well at it, too.
He has. Yeah, he's been hitting these big dogs.
It's crazy.
All right, Carey, what do you got?
Give me Steph Curry over 37.5. And Jimmy Butler over 31.5.
What are you doing?
And the Warriors -6.5. And Nikola Jokic over 50.5. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander over 42.5.
These are points, rebounds, and assists.
Points, rebounds, and assists.
I would have said points, so, they had a lofty parlay there.
Nope, not points. That'd be a lot.
Wow. Okay. All right. What's the thought process? Going to your parlay here.
Don't you worry about my parlay. I wanted to go a few more. I got a little nervous.
Okay.
Stop there.
All right. Well, good luck to you, Carey.
Should go one more with LeBron James. You know what? Nope, don't do it, Carey. Just stop there. Nope, give me LeBron James over 40.5.
Wow. All right, well, send it to the group there, CD.
You're going to get it. Just you, Anthony. Just you.
Just you. Marsh, would you like to go next?
No, I'll let you go again.
Give me the over in the Warriors-Mavericks game. It's 232.5. The over is 8-2 in the last 10 games between these two teams. The over is 8-2 in the Warriors' last 10 games. And the over is 8-2 in the Mavericks' last 10 games. So these are two teams that individually play to the over, and when they meet, they often get to the over. So over 232.5, Warriors, Mavericks. Please and thank you.
There's been a lot of people, specifically in the country above us, that have been talking a lot of crap on their netminder, Jordan Binnington.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yes, we will. Give me Jordan Binnington over 23.5 saves tonight at -114.
Okay.
Very well.
I like that. I like that one, Marsh. All right. So, again, we do need a new Gauntlet contestant. So, if you want to play in the Gauntlet, text it into the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. We will get to that coming up shortly here. You can also check out Heat Up St. Louis. It's this Friday morning, during the 25th annual Hardee's Rise and Shine fundraiser. You can stop by any participating Hardee's in the bi-state area this Friday morning and grab a sausage biscuit or an egg biscuit for just $1. 100% of the proceeds of all funds collected will help Heat Up St. Louis, supporting people in need in both Missouri and Illinois. That's this Friday morning at any participating Hardee's. Find more info at 101ESPN.com. All right, gentlemen. We got a pause from Hal, fortunately, because, boy,
he's kicking our butt.
He was kicking our butts. Tired of going to the penalty box.
Man.
But who knows? Maybe this next contestant, whoever he or she may be, maybe they'll also have a bit of a run. Fastlane's down right now. The Gauntlet is next on 101 ESPN. I love Auto Centers Nissan. Love driving out to Herculaneum to check out the new rides that they have there. Even if we don't need one, I love just kind of perusing what they have on the lot because they have over 700 vehicles in stock, and it's always fun to see what kind of deals they have at Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum. For example, throughout the month of February, they have their Love at First Drive sales event going on, and that means new Nissans are discounted up to $10,000 off, with sales prices starting under $23,000 on select models. They've got great financing deals. So if you have credit issues or if you're stuck with a current loan, others overpromise and underdeliver. But Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum, they're confident that anyone who walks through the door can drive away in a brand new Nissan. They've got highly rated, ratings and marks and reviews on Google. So you can rest assured that you'll love the entire experience at Auto Centers Nissan. They got 0 down and no payments for 3 months on select used vehicles or no payments for 6 months on select new Nissans right now, plus great low financing rates with terms of up to 84 months. All of this also includes the 2025 Nissan model that comes with, and all 2025 Nissan models come with the free lifetime warranty and 3 free oil changes. Plus, you get that peace of mind coverage with their 30-day return promise. Go see for yourself why they are the best. It's Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum and AutoCentersNissan.com.
Warriors. 4 categories, 1 challenger. Can you survive the Gauntlet?
Brought to you by Blue Note Roofing. Roofing, siding, and gutters. Visit BlueNoteRoofingSTL.com for a free inspection.
401, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Carey Davis and Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter, and we welcome in Lee to the Gauntlet. What's up, Lee?
Hey, how you doing, guys?
We're doing great, man. Appreciate you listening. Thanks for playing. Would you like to take on Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, or me in your first leg of the Gauntlet?
I'm going to be fair. I'm going to take on Carey because I've been giving him a lot of crap on text line lately.
Oh.
So I get to take a chance at eating some crow.
All right. Oh, wow, Lee, I like that you've admitted.
Very respectful.
Are you, well, actually, hold on. before we go any further here.
True.
Carey Davis. Now you, get out.
All right. See you guys. Good luck, Lee.
Hey, you.
All right, so Carey, he did. He said thank you. Well, he didn't say good luck. He just said thank you. Yeah. All right, so
very selfish response.
Carey's going to make his way to the Cone of Silence. Now that Carey's in the Cone of Silence, Lee, have you been kind of like going back and forth with CD, or you just have you been fun?
No, just childish snide comments. I know he hated on the Chiefs, and I was just kind of waiting for when they lost the Super Bowl for him to finally come in and go and see, I told you so.
Gotcha. Okay.
He did say that a lot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Even when we said, yeah, Carey was right. He's like, hey, guys, guess what? I was right. Like, okay. You went against him every week. You're bound to be right at some point. But no, nonetheless, he was. He was right about the Eagles. Okay, Lee, go ahead and tell Marsh to spin that wheel.
Let's spin that wheel, Marsh.
All right, Lee, what are we hoping for? What category?
I'm hoping not football, but we'll see what happens.
Hoping not football.
Whoa, it is not going to be football today. It is baseball. And it makes sense. Pitchers and catchers are reporting.
That's right. Baseball for a second straight day. So, Lee, you good with baseball?
Unless y'all ask me who hit something in the 7th inning of 140th game of the year, I should be good.
Well,
let's not rule that question out.
So that we call those, thank you, Marsh, we call those Marshy questions, because Marsh will tell you exactly
maybe
who hit 7th and hit a double in the 7th inning of the 77th game of the year. All right, 4 questions, Lee. All baseball related, thank you. All baseball related. Each question is worth 2 points unless you ask for the options. If you ask for the options, those questions are worth 1 point. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Angels third baseman Anthony Rendon will undergo hip surgery and miss a significant amount of time yet again for the Angels. Back in 2019, though, he actually led the majors with 126 RBI. For whom did Rendon play for at that time?
I think I know y'all always say shooters shoot. I'm gonna go with Washington. I'm gonna go with Washington. Final answer.
Okay.
Question number 2: among active pitchers, who has the most saves?
I'm gonna need the options.
Options are Craig Kimbrell, Aroldis Chapman, or Kenley Jansen.
We'll go with Kimbrell.
Final answer?
Final answer.
All right, Lee, question number 3. Happy birthday to former Red Slugger Todd Frazier. Where did the 2-time All-Star prevail in the 2015 Home Run Derby? We will accept the ballpark or the city.
2015. Where was I? I'm going to need the options.
Petco Park in San Diego, the Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati, or Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City.
We'll go with Petco. Final answer. That's a complete yes.
Question number 4. In 2022, Tommy Edman scored 43% of the time when on base. The second highest rate in the big leagues, behind only who?
It's a Marshy question. Jeez. Yeah, options, so I can at least have a good guess.
Options are Mookie Betts, Paul Goldschmidt, or Aaron Judge.
I'm going to guess that a home run counts as being on base, and I'm going to go with Judge.
Final answer?
Final answer. Yeah, final answer.
All right, we're going to bring back Carey in from the Cone of Silence. Lee, how you feeling?
Well, I'm stopped on the side of the road getting prepared to go to the penalty box.
Oh, okay. All right. Self-imposed. I like that. All right. Carey is back from the Cone of Silence,
hey, fellas.
Which I imagine was silence. I don't think anybody's in the building today.
Yeah, it's like they thought it was going to be a storm or something. So did the school districts.
Looks fine to me.
Yeah. That's why you wait till the morning like we did and have to watch the scroll across the TV, and you miss your letter. You got to sit there another 10, 15 minutes to see if you're in school or not.
Right.
And then your school doesn't come up, you're like, oh, God, I got to go to school.
Yeah. Not today, Carey.
Not
Today's
today.
kids, they get told by their parents, like, oh, look, there's one drop of snow. We better call this thing. We better call this thing. All right.
Ready.
Carey.
Yeah.
Your category today is baseball.
Oh.
Baseball is your category.
All right. I like baseball.
Are you ready?
Sure.
Marshy? Pack a lunch.
Okay.
Angels third baseman Anthony Rendon will undergo hip surgery and miss a significant amount of time yet again. Back in 2019, though, he actually led the majors with 126 RBI. For whom did Rendon play at that time? Who do you play for?
Washington Nationals, final answer.
Question number 2. Among active pitchers, who has the most saves?
That's a very good question there, Marshy. I feel like I don't know if it's anyone more active than him. Oh, I'm going to be mad. Give me an option. Kenley Jansen, final answer.
Wow. That was all in one sentence.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to former Red Slugger Todd Frazier. Where did the two-time All-Star prevail in the 2015 Home Run Derby? We will accept the ballpark or the city.
One more time? I wasn't listening.
Happy birthday to former Red Slugger Todd Frazier. Where did the two-time All-Star prevail in the 2015 Home Run Derby? We will accept the ballpark or the city. So where did he win?
I feel like it was New York, but I want the options, please.
Petco Park in San Diego, the Great American Small Park in Cincinnati, or Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City.
Well, glad I got the options there, huh?
Yeah, no New York on that one.
Nope, no New York.
So San Diego, Cincinnati, or Kansas City?
I don't feel like it was Kansas City. I'm sorry, I don't feel like it was Cincinnati or Kansas City. All right, San Diego, final answer.
Question number 4. In 2022, Tommy Edman scored 43% of the time when on base, the second highest rate in the big leagues behind only who?
What year?
2022.
Hell, I know. Options.
Options are Mookie Betts, Paul Goldschmidt, or Aaron Judge.
Can repeat the question one more time, please? I'm sorry.
In 2022, Tommy Edman scored 43% of the time when on base, the second highest rate in the big leagues behind only who?
What? I mean, Mookie Betts would be the... This is an Anthony Stalter. This is... Because neither one of those guys, I would think, who's hitting behind them? Who's driving them in? Huh? 2022. Ooh. 2022, you say? Well, you would have two guys on the team. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, Paul Goldschmidt, final answer. I hate that answer.
We'll see if you'll hate it even more here in a second. All right. Angels third baseman Anthony Rendon will undergo hip surgery and miss a significant amount of time yet again. Back in 2019, though, he actually led the majors with 126 RBI. For whom did Rendon play at that time? Carey, you said the Washington Nationals. Lee, you said the Washington Nationals. Correct answer is...
It is the Washington Nationals.
Neither of you needed the options. Nice job, guys. 2-2. Happy birthday to former Red Slugger Todd Frazier. Where did the two-time All-Star prevail in the 2015 Home Run Derby? We will accept the ballpark or city. Lee, with the options, you said Petco Park, San Diego. Carey, with the options, you said Petco Park, San Diego.
Cincinnati, isn't it?
Correct answer is...
It is Cincinnati. Great American Ballpark.
That's right. Todd Frazier, red.
But I thought it was New York for some reason. I just couldn't get off of that. Terrible.
So you're like, I don't know. Yeah.
Much.
All right. Well, I mean, if it makes you feel any better, Lee did say that he totally guessed on that one.
Yeah, me too.
2-2.
Clearly.
Me too. 2-2 tie. In 2022, Tommy Edman scored 43% of the time when on base, the second highest rate in the big leagues behind only Lee. You went with Aaron Judge. Carey, you went with Paul Goldschmidt, declaring that this, of course, is a Anthony-type question and that it's got to be the outlier. Correct answer is...
It's Mookie Betts.
It's Mookie Betts, Dodger.
Dog it.
It's your Dodger, Mookie Betts. So we remain 2-2.
That's ridiculous.
Will we have a winner or will we have a walk-off? Let's find out. Among active pitchers, who has the most saves? Lee, with the options, said Craig Kimbrell. Carey, without the options, which doesn't matter now, as we know. You said Kenley Jansen.
Is the option?
Aroldis Chapman is an option. Craig Kimbrell is an option. And, of course, Kenley Jansen is an option.
Okay.
If it's Kenley Jansen, CD wins by 2. If it's Craig Kimbrell, Lee wins by 1. If it's Aroldis Chapman, we got a walk-off for a second straight gauntlet.
All right.
Lee.
You have chosen poorly.
You lose. Not today.
It is Kenley Jansen and his 447 saves. He is the active pitcher with the most saves. Congratulations to Carey Davis, who beats Lee 4-2. Sorry, Lee.
Good job, Lee.
That's all right. I was pretty sure when Carey didn't, he went Kenley. I was like, yeah, I'm sure that's probably going to be it.
Well, it's funny, too. He goes, Kenley Jansen.
Give me the options, Kenley Jansen.
Lee, we appreciate you listening. Thanks for playing.
All right. Appreciate it, guys.
Nice work.
Good job, Lee.
Carey, nice job. You ended the skid, man.
Oof.
Ended the
Needed that.
3-game skid for the fast lane.
Yeah, it's huge.
That is huge.
Well, how does that work, though? Because if technically Hal beats Jamie next week, does it technically count as the losing
over.
skid?
Yeah, it's over.
Or does
Skid's
it?
over.
No,
Yeah.
it is? Okay.
The losing streak has ended.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Now, could we hand out a trophy that day? Yeah. But
Definitely.
for now, the skid is over.
Well, maybe we'll build some momentum.
Maybe.
It'll be controversial, though, if Hal ends up losing.
Nah, no controversy.
You don't think so?
No.
He had to wait a while. He was hot.
Wait a while.
Yeah, it's like, getting a
It's like
bye.
Tigers, you get the couple of weeks off before the World Series because you're just so damn good in the ALCS. Then you get whipped.
You get a scrappy guy like
True
Jamie
times.
coming in.
Right.
Never know. It could be some
Never
controversy.
He might still be in
Wouldn't be the
Mexico
first
on
time.
Monday.
No. What's that?
He still might be in Mexico on Monday.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't actually know he's
when he got
if
back
he's
from
in.
the lake. No, I mean, he'll be here. But he might not be
I
here.
got you.
Yeah. He might not be here.
Right. Yeah. We did not have him here on
The
Friday.
last day?
No, but he was here.
Yeah.
He says about 4:30 on. I think it was about 4:15.
I said 3:30.
I didn't feel like it was that
I
bad.
felt like 3:30. He was like, "Yep, all right."
He
fellas.
did tuck her right out. Like he came out of the gates like, yeah, it's my last show before the break. And then once he sits down a little early,
He crashed.
Yeah.
It's a wrap.
He gets a little tuckered out.
Yeah.
All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Jordan Binnington has received a lot of, heat for being the starter for Canada in the Four Nations tournament. One former goaltender said he absolutely should not be the guy. You'll hear what he had to say, who he is, and whether or not we agree. Next on 101 ESPN. So not everybody is fired up to have Jordan Binnington in net for Team Canada as the Four Nations tournament begins tonight. Here is goaltender Martin Biron, former Flyer and former Sabre and Ranger, and now he's doing some work for TSN and also some work for the Buffalo Sabres, the media side of things. But here's Biron on why Canada made a mistake with Binnington.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been my choice, right? And I think Jordan Binnington has a history of being a winner. But it's back almost, 6 years ago when they won the Cup in 2019. Over the last 3 seasons, he's had one good year. And when you look at the playoff performances, it hasn't been there. So I get it. Jordan Binnington is a winner. But I look at consistency. I look at Adin Hill and what he was able to do winning the Cup with Vegas 2 years ago. But also when fully healthy, how consistent he's been and how much of a force he's been with the Vegas Golden Knights. So, look, that wouldn't have been my choice, and I get it. It wasn't an easy decision for Team Canada to pick a starter. But they said they were going to go with one guy and not have a rotation. So this is now Binnington's tournament. If you have to make a change, that will mean that Team Canada is in trouble, and they would have to go to Adin Hill or Sam Montembeault. But, look, they made their decision. Just wouldn't have been my pick.
Yeah. Unless they face the U.S. of A., I'm going to be rooting for Binnington to shove it up everybody's you-know-what. So basically, if I have it right here, again, it wouldn't be his pick. He said it no less than 3 times. But if I'm picking up on old Marty Biron and what he's laying down, it is because Adin Hill won more recent, he should be the guy. Well, Adin Hill won a cup more recently, and since he did that, he's better than Binnington.
Well, right? I think something along those lines. You were saying earlier, Marcia, they didn't even want him or Adin Hill.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that wanted Logan Thompson to be the starting netminder. He's with the Washington Capitals right now, but I think there's like some drama behind Logan Thompson and the coaching staff for Team Canada. So he ended up not being one of the 3 goalies selected for the Canadians. I just find this to be interesting because I think there are a lot of people out there that could be justified saying that they don't want Jordan Binnington to be the starter. Mm-hmm. If you look at his numbers this year,
they're not eye-popping.
They're not eye-popping. At all. And it is what it is. You okay, Carey?
Yeah, sneezing a little bit over here.
Bless you,
allergies.
Bless you.
Did that come through? Could you hear it?
No,
not at all. I was just, making faces.
Cough button works well.
It does.
Yeah, I didn't hear a thing. I just, we're just making sure you're okay.
Thank you.
Anyways, I feel like only people in St. Louis truly understand Binnington's value in between the pipes.
Right.
You are putting the best players in front of him, and what we know and how he can play. I think he's going to be fine. That's just my opinion, though. Maybe he won't be. I don't know. More. But I'm rooting for him. I really am. Like, I want him to do good because he represents the Blues in the city of St. Louis.
Right.
And I want him to do good. It is tough, though, because he plays for Team Canada. I want the United States. Like, when they play the United States, like, it's going to be tough. Like, I want the USA to win, but like I also want him and Colton Parayko to have a nice showing.
I want Binnington to dominate faces until he faces the USA, and I want him to lose the 1-0. Oh, that's kind of where I'm at on this. But Binnington is a cold-blooded psychopath when it comes to these big time games. Now, to Marsh's point, Biron's not wrong. The stats have not been good this season. As far as him not playing in the postseason of late, well, the Blues haven't made the playoffs, and part of the reason they haven't made the playoffs is because what's been in front of Binnington hasn't been good enough. And I don't think I'm taking a shot at the team is saying that they haven't. And if they're honest, and they have been honest, and Army has been honest, it hasn't been good enough in front of Binnington. 2 years ago, the defense was atrocious in front of him. At times last year, atrocious in front of him.
So this has always been, I hear a lot of hockey people say it's not always on the goalie, and I understand that. But when you're giving up some of those goals that are given up, you look at it and you're like, you probably should have made that stop.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think some of this conversation from Baron after the last game that the Blues had against the Blackhawks where Jordan Binnington gave up 5 goals, do you think that any of that
I think it's the
carries
season.
Yeah, the record of the Blues,
Yes.
the most recent game that you just played,
Right.
you gave up 5 goals. Like, I think all of those things kind of carry into people's opinion. And we've said this before, the national opinion of Jordan Binnington is not that as what it is here in St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
People outside of St. Louis don't really care for him.
Yeah, they hate his face.
Yeah.
I think, yes, to answer your question, I highly doubt that Biron is watching Binnington closely. He probably looked at the stats and said, this guy sucks. This guy's not having a good year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't fault him. We can't watch every goaltender. We can't watch every team. But if you think about the big-time moments that Binnington has been in before, I wouldn't be shocked if he has a great tournament.
So I asked this question to Marshy in the office, and it was kind of along with this. Can this impact Jordan Binnington's season for the rest of the year? How well he performs in the tournament, or how poorly? If he performs poorly, could that stench be on him when the Blues start back up? Cardinals. I got the Cardinals on my brain.
I smell what you're stepping in.
Yeah.
Little Albert Pujols.
I mean, hey.
Little Albert Pujols. Home run derby.
Little home run derby. Get your juices revved up.
I don't think it was a mistake that you mentioned the Cardinals and not the Blues.
It was a slip.
So what you're asking me is, do I think that Jordan Binnington becomes what Albert Pujols was for the Cardinals his final year in St. Louis?
Sure.
And the question, or the answer, is 100% yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a layup.
I also wonder if he doesn't do well, and it's like a huge, just like a huge ordeal that he did not play well, and Team Canada, ends up kind of faltering in this Four Nations tournament. I wonder if he comes back and wants to prove people wrong too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's not the type of goaltender I am.
Yeah.
Let me shove it right back in your face.
Wow, you guys are doing a lot of shoving today.
Mm-hmm.
We're pushing and shoving.
I said dominate.
Yeah, but you said shoving something earlier.
Oh, shoving it up where the sun don't shine. Yeah.
You
right.
guys are shoving.
I said in the face.
Yes.
And you were shoving it somewhere else.
More appropriate.
Right.
It's a lot. It's shoving it anywhere.
I wasn't. I was hoping Binnington was shoving it.
It's still a lot when you're shoving people and shoving things into people and onto people. I think
this is the Four Nations tournament.
All right.
It's a huge deal.
All right.
Yeah. It's first one ever.
So if he does, to answer, so if he does perform poorly, it could go one way or the other. But what if it goes into now he's just in a funk?
Well, then he's in a funk, and
what does that mean for the Blues the rest of the year?
Well, it's not good. It's definitely not good. I do think if he doesn't go in a funk and he comes back out and he's on fire, it still might not matter because of the guys that are playing in front of him.
Yeah.
If you can't score goals, then you're not going to win.
Then you got to score them yourself, Jordan. You hear that?
Percy brings up a great point in the Snake Pit. He said, this is the biggest thing since the Flint, Michigan Mega Bowl. And he's right.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And he's absolutely right. Yeah, you guys remember that documentary, right?
Yeah.
Jackie Moon.
There's a bear involved in that one, too.
A bear, yeah.
I do remember that one.
Yeah. Precious.
I wonder how...
it's kind of crazy.
That one gentleman, I wonder if he ended up cashing in that big check.
He did.
Did he?
Yeah, remember at the end? I think they got him an actual check. Yeah.
Are we sure about that? It's been a minute since I've seen the documentary. Or is this like a Sisyphus, like he actually did make it up the hill type thing?
No. At the end of the documentary,
okay,
Jackie Moon can be overheard. Like he's reading the note, and eventually that superfan says, "Go Tropics." Remember that?
It's been a minute.
Yeah,
it's been a while.
Boy, that was sad though. That whole thing was sad.
That was sad. That's
told him to go to a bigger bank.
Yeah.
To cash that big check. That's tough.
I've never seen a big bank that big.
No, yeah. Mm-hmm. Will you be rooting for the Blues' success or Team USA at the Four Nations tournament? Leave us a mic drop. Do you also want Binnington to shove it where the sun don't shine? But if he's playing USA, Team USA, do you also want him to lose 1-0? That's kind of where I'm at. Leave us a mic drop. We're on a show mic drop, and we'll play that at some point during the show today. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Part 1 of our Sports Six-Pack is next. If you have a question for us, send it into the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. Sports Six-Pack next.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. We just got done talking about Jordan Binnington as he will be the starting netminder for Team Canada as Canada takes on Sweden tonight in the Four Nations tournament. You can listen to that game right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. If you missed any of our conversations from today, including our conversations about your St. Louis Cardinals and John Mozeliak, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page and you'll find all of our full shows there. And it's all brought to you by the Schaefer Door Company. We have our Sports Six-Pack coming up next, so get your questions into the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. Six-Pack coming your way next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question. Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is now.
All right, time for the Sports Six-Pack here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN, at least part one of it. Carey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. Here's Andrew Marsh with your questions.
Question number 1.
All right, from the 636, Hakeem Butler is a stud in the UFL, but when he goes to try out for an NFL team, he falls flat. Guys, why do you think this is? Just not NFL caliber?
I think that's a very good question. I was watching something the other day. I just happened to, I don't know, it was on Twitter, where Wade Phillips was talking to him after one of those games and telling him, I'm going to tell every team in the NFL, every coach I know, to give you a shot. Maybe it's because he clearly has a skill set. He has the size. He has the speed. Sometimes it's just the right fit. Sometimes you get signed to a team that has, that person that is playing the exact same position as you, and they're already paying them X amount of dollars, and there's no need for you. Hakeem Butler, to me, is not a guy. He's a receiver. Like, he's only going to play receiver. He's not a guy that can help you on special teams. So sometimes when you're that third, fourth, fifth receiver, you got to be a gunner on special teams. You got to be a guy that can be on the punt team. You got to be able to add value to the team in other areas, whereas he's just a receiver. And most teams in the NFL have their number 1 and number 2 receivers already. So that's probably what he's running into. It would probably have to be like an injury to someone, like a major injury to one of the guys when he's in camp, where he can kind of fill that role without having any issues. But I think because he's limited and it sounds crazy. He's a receiver, yeah, but he's limited in the other areas where, if you're not going to run down on kickoff and be the first guy down there and make a tackle, it's going to be hard to find a roster spot. And I think that's probably what he's running into right now.
Yeah. No, I think you nailed it. Because how many times, too, that you see younger players that are trying to make a roster stay after practice to work with the special teams coach.
Yep.
That's how you make the roster in the NFL when you're one of these guys that is one of these last guys on the roster. So no, CD, I think he nailed it.
Question number 2.
From the Waterboy, what is the greatest single play in sports history? The Waterboy's vote is when the Giants pulled off the annexation of Puerto Rico.
The Little Giants.
The Little Giants.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Statue of Liberty is a good one. Boise State.
Boise State.
I mean, James Harrison pick 6 is probably the greatest.
That's a good
play
one
in Super Bowl history. And I mean, for what that game, that moment, that time, like they're going in to score right before halftime.
Right. What a momentum shift. It
changes everything if they score.
What about Malcolm Butler?
That's a huge one too.
That saved a Super Bowl because the Seahawks were going in. That's it. It's over.
David Tyree
won a Super Bowl.
Helmet catch.
Yep.
Oh, I mean, are we just thinking football? Like, what about other?
We could think Marsh. The way that the Waterboy phrased it, and the way that I understood it, you could choose anything, anywhere you any play you damn well like.
Play ever in ever.
Bob.
Does that include a home run?
Yeah.
It got it.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
What about the miracle at Jordan Air?
Oh, the kick six?
The kick six.
That was crazy.
That was crazy.
That was my cousin.
If you was it
Chris Davis?
Is he your actual cousin or
no?
No, he's not. You got me. You got me. I'll admit it. I will not. You got me.
Yeah. All right. Damn. I put that one up for me.
Yeah. I just went right for it head first.
David Freese,
like a side of a pool
from AB.
Yep, David Freese, good one. Mm-hmm. Bacon wrapped wiener also said the Butler pick. Santonio Holmes catch. Percy, you got to like that one.
Yeah,
but I think you nailed it though. I think if you're going to choose anything from that game, it's got to be it's got to be James Harrison.
Yeah, I was I think it was game 6 or game 7. I think it was NLCS. Jim Edmonds made one of the greatest catches I have ever seen in my entire life.
Do you know who hit that ball?
I don't.
Which game was it?
I think it was game 6.
Had to be I think it was game 7. Game 7 against the Astros.
Yeah, it was the greatest catch I've ever seen in person.
Want me to give you a hint?
Carlos Beltran hit that.
Nope.
Yeah, give me a hint.
He became a manager.
Craig Counsell.
Nope.
He became a manager. Wow.
Skip Schumacher.
No, it wasn't him. I don't want to look up there. I don't want to get. He became a manager.
Oh, that's a good question.
Who the hell was on the Astros?
That might have made it worse, Marshy.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because now I can't think of the Astro players. It wasn't Biggio. It wasn't. Oh,
I thought it was.
Can I have the initials?
B.A.
Brian Anderson?
Nope.
B.A.
I'm going to tell you, and you're going to be like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Yeah, no, you're going to be so mad.
B.A.
Bruce Arians.
B.A.
I have no clue. I thought it was Lance Berkman. Wasn't he on that team?
He was on that team.
Yeah, he was on the team.
I thought it was him.
What position, Marsh?
Dead giveaway.
Is it?
Yeah.
B.A.
He's not going to get this.
I'm not.
If you haven't gotten it by now, I don't know if you'll get it.
What's the position?
Catcher.
Oh, Brad Ausmus. You know what's fun? I can't remember him being on that team.
Yeah, he had the skull on his catcher's helmet.
That's right.
Back when, I don't know why. I don't know if there's a rule now.
Yeah.
But catchers used to have decals on their helmet. Like Yachty used to have the birds on the bat on the side of his helmet. And then one year he didn't. And it made me irate.
Yeah.
I'm like, where did that go? Like catchers don't do that anymore.
Maybe Major League Baseball banned it.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. That's a good question there, Marsh.
Yeah,
Brad Ausmus. I would have never put him on Houston.
Yeah.
You'll get text from 937. 3 minutes of you guys breathing and sighing and asking for hints. I love
it. Sorry. That does not make for good radio, does it?
Nah, it's fine.
No.
Oh, we got another one. Mike Jones tackle.
That was awesome.
That was great.
That's a very good.
Yeah. So we're talking about coming full circle here. We're talking about plays, like the greatest sports plays in history. The Michael Jordan push-off was a good one.
Yeah.
It's not a push-off.
Mike Eruzione's go-ahead goal in the 1980 Miracle on Ice game.
Sure.
I mean, that's pretty iconic. He, hops into the corner. Right. The whole team comes out to celebrate.
Yep.
636 texted, "This is boring."
Yeah.
Sorry that we can't entertain you.
All right.
Every second.
Almost dead air. Yeah, we get it, guys. We get it. It's like body's dead. Okay?
I thought it was a layup of a question.
It was. But I couldn't pinpoint him on that Astros team. I'm sorry that you all feel that way. Okay?
The Finches were a bad idea.
I get it. The Finches were a bad idea. Some of them may have had salmonella. I apologize. But let's not kick the body when it's already dead.
Yeah,
Okay. Let's move on. All right, let's go to the second Sports Six Pack, and I'll tell you what we're going to do. 4 questions, lightning rounds. Okay? High energy.
Is it?
Let's really entertain these piles of crap. All right?
Whoa!
I'm sorry, that was too far.
You steaming.
We're a six-pack next on 101 ESPN.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is now.
All right, the hate continued into the break. Somebody's saying, this is boring. When does Jamie get back? Don't worry. All your sexual innuendos will be fulfilled next week. Jamie will be back with us then.
Is that what he does?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
What? It's basically hockey and sexual innuendos.
I thought he was talking about sports.
This whole time. Okay, let's go. Let's entertain these people.
Question number 3.
All right, from the 636, who has the better one-liner? Kirk Cousins. You don't like that. I did that.
That was perfect. Honestly, that was really good.
He did have a little bit of a voice crack to it.
No, totally. I think you nailed it. I thought Kirk was here.
Like that. Yeah. Or Binnington, do I look nervous?
Binnington, do I look nervous? Hands
Because
down.
It's straight to the point.
Yeah, well, plus he backed it up. I'll never forget when Maroon scored the goal and they showed the what's it called? The overhead view. Thank you. The overhead view of Binnington tapping each post and then just skating out. Zero motion. Just won Game 7. Pat Maroon just became a hometown hero, baby. And Binnington is out. Like it was Game 13 of the regular season. Loved it. So I'm going to go with Binnington. What about you?
I like that you like that.
Okay.
You asked the wrong person, man.
No, you asked the right person.
He will never.
No, he hates Kirk Cousins.
He hates Kirk Cousins.
Just like people hate us talking or breathing. For 3 minutes.
Right. We'll try not to breathe the rest of the show.
Good luck. I don't think that's going to work.
Stop, you don't get
We don't breathe.
We got to deliver for the people.
You definitely won't hear anything else.
You'll hear.
It won't be just dead air, you know?
Yeah. All right, Marsh, go.
My answer, or do you want another question?
Either.
No, well both.
Yeah.
Answer and then fire it.
I love the Jordan Binnington. Do I look nervous? But that's not really a meme. And Kirk Cousins, you don't like that? Like that just it'll forever stand the test of time.
It's always here.
It's always here.
Yep.
Plus, you can answer it too. You know, Binnington answered his. Kirk asked you.
He asked you a question.
So and every time I go, no, I'm not entertained at all. Where is Michael Penix Jr.?
Question number 4.
Good job, Marsh. Let's go.
From the 636, which of the Four Nations team has the most to lose with a poor performance?
Canada, always.
It's always Canada.
Team Canada.
Yep.
All eyes on those maple syrup loving you-know-whats.
Yep.
You
Canada.
ever had
Canada.
maple syrup on a stick?
No, I have not.
Pretty good.
Stick?
On a stick.
On a stick, yeah.
So you just dip a stick in maple syrup and then you just eat it?
So you dip the stick in maple syrup and then you put it out on some snow and then it freezes and it becomes like a maple syrup sucker. You just kind of lick it.
Oh, so this is something you created.
No, I didn't come up with it, but I've done it before.
But this is something somebody created. It's not like it's a thing and it's sold and...
Oh, it could be sold.
I've never... I don't.
It's a Canadian thing.
Is it?
Is it
Well, it
just
has
fresh?
to be. I did
fresh
it in
snow?
Canada. When I was
Fresh
in Canada.
snow?
Oh, yeah, fresh snow.
Okay.
Well, I hope so. I
would hope so too.
You want some polar bear peeing on it and then do it.
I don't
Stay away from the yellow
polar
snow.
bears.
Probably not.
I mean, maybe at a zoo.
Moose.
Now,
Mooses.
you do know that. Is it mooses or is it just
No,
moose?
This is just moose.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is tough. Like,
Yeah.
you know, that's
Like-
very confusing.
Yeah, I think the polar bear is like the most dangerous of all the bears.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's
Jack you right up.
Nowhere to do. You know,
Especially
one
if it-
bear you stand tall, one bear you run.
Right. No, polar bears are like, I don't care what you do.
Although those ones in the Coca-Cola commercials seem pretty friendly.
They
They
seem
do,
that
but
way. They'll
a lot
rip
of
your
people,
face off.
a lot of people have perished because of that.
Yeah. Like,
Oh, look, I've got a Coke here. I'll share with the wham. Done. One
you
swipe.
want this damn Coke? I like Pepsi.
Yep. One swipe from a polar bear's paw, just rip your whole entire face off.
Man, that's tough.
Yeah. Could you imagine though? You're right, Carey. There's some things that you do with a bear, like stand tall, make yourself, or you get real small.
Right. Polar bear.
Polar bear.
They doesn't care, buddy.
You see it, you lock eyes, you're done.
Yeah, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
run
I feel
if
like you
want
could
to.
maybe be friends with it.
I don't know.
No, you cannot.
You can't smile at it.
No, he don't care.
he
He don't
cares.
want to see. He does not want to see your face on your body anymore. Once he sees it, man, he wants to take your face off.
Face off.
Well, people, I didn't know if Carey was going to get that one.
Another good documentary.
Nailed it.
love
Good
that
documentary.
Face.
Question number 5.
All right, from the 618.
Swap faces. No, nobody noticed.
Nobody knows. Like,
It was that perfect.
Just that good, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
Sorry, Marsh. Go.
No, okay. From the 618 is filling out your roster with aging vets to remain competitive and 5 to 10 more wins really worth premium draft position.
No.
Not at all.
No. Nope. I'm assuming the Cardinals' approach last offseason. I hated it. Absolutely hated it.
Not a great idea.
Adding veteran players just to fill out the bottom of the roster. You didn't have and I love Brandon Crawford, but you didn't have a different B Crawl, a younger B Crawl in the organization.
There's a part to that where you say when you add the veteran players, you kind of know that they know that they're not going to be playing. It's a little bit easier on a veteran player to sit on the bench. You know, especially when you're towards the tail end of your career, you've had a great career. You're maybe there to mentor. It's harder for a younger player because those guys need the reps, they need the opportunities. But I do think that they could have filled some of those roster spots with maybe not younger players, but kind of the middle tier.
Right. This is where I'm at. You bring up a good point about the veterans.
Yeah.
And there's got to be. Not everybody.
Like Jose Fermin.
Yes.
Like he could have filled that spot.
Not everybody in the minors is a top prospect,
Correct.
obviously.
Correct.
So you're telling me you don't have somebody like, hey, there's going to be a bench role, somebody that can play all the positions. Maybe he's got speed, like some other element.
Yeah.
But you're not going to be playing a lot.
And maybe there wasn't that person.
So JC, maybe.
They should have brought Taylor Motter back.
I don't need to see Taylor.
No, we don't need to see Taylor.
Why not?
I like Taylor. I
We
think he's a
saw
great
Taylor.
guy.
We saw Taylor Motter many a times.
So JC's young.
I went to the
I
ballpark
wouldn't
to see him
it's a
play.
JC on
But
that.
Jose
Fermin's a good one.
Perfect example.
Fermin could have been the guy all year.
Yeah. Luke and Baker. Probably
That
one of
role
those
is not
guys.
supposed to be exciting. It's a bench bat.
I think Luke and Baker could have been that guy.
Sure.
You know.
Well, and sure.
Yep.
Going back to the one-liner, we get a text from the 636. Who do you think you are? I am. Still beats both.
That is a good one.
That is a good one.
It's a great one.
Come on, Marsh. Let's go.
Question number 6.
Keep these people entertained.
Yeah, Anthony, I'm still, just going through the text messages here. From the 314, would you rather the DeWitts sell the team or move the team? Why would anyone want that?
No, yeah, let's sell them. Let's sell the team before you move. Yeah, no, I don't want to.
Who said that?
I don't want the team to be
314,
moved.
ask the question.
314.
I appreciate the question. I don't think that's
We do not want the team to be sold. Or,
Here we go.
Moved.
Here,
You found another one.
Different 314.
Okay.
Is it time for the DeWitts to sell the Cardinals? It just seems they are comfortable with mediocrity.
I think they're very comfortable right now. I think they could keep the parking. They could keep Ballpark Village and unload. If this is such a bear, and I imagine it is. I mean, paying the salaries of the players and all that. And then trying to increase revenues and be happy and all that. I imagine that is a huge, huge thing that weighs on them. Just run the Ballpark Village and parking and all that. You'll make tons of money. You're good.
They're making tons of money now.
The new owner would probably want a piece of that, though.
Yeah, tell them to go to hell.
I'm with you, Anthony.
Tell them it's not available. You'd have the team.
Well, we don't want the team. We want everything.
Well, you can't have everything. Next. No? Yeah. All right. Good stuff, guys. I think that was more entertaining.
I don't know. I prefer the breathing and sighing.
Polar bears. DeWitt's moving / selling the team. Something in there about the
You
Blues.
like that?
Oh, yeah, and Kirky football.
Yeah.
Right? I think we accomplished it. Nice job, guys.
Thanks.
Really nice job.
Proud of you guys.
Proud of you. Will history repeat itself for the Cards? Marsh has an outline that describes the Cardinals winning it all in 3 years. He'll tell you why next on 101 ESPN. 6:04, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Carey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter, and our guy Andrew Marsh, ever the optimist, put together a game plan, a timeline, if you will, based on history, Cardinals history, that indicates the Cardinals will win it all in just a few short years.
Yeah, I did.
I was amazed when Anthony when he showed it to me, when he was explaining it to me. I was like, "Really?
No,
it's that simple?"
Yeah,
that's amazing. I can't wait for it to happen.
So what Carey actually said was, "My God, you have completely changed my outlook not only on the Cardinals but on life."
Yeah.
That's what Carey said. Now, Marsh, detail for the people.
Yes.
What this looks like based on history and how it's going to repeat itself.
All right, so this upcoming year, the Cardinals have not had this many players 28 or younger in their lineup since 1994. What happened in that 1994 season? Well, the Cardinals finished third in the division. They then fired their GM at the time, old Dal Maxville. He was fired at the end of the year on September 22nd. And that year, I believe, ended early because of the strike.
Oh, yes, it did. The
If I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it did. Yep.
So he was gone. They kept Joe Torre as the manager. He was still the manager in 1995. But in 1995, they hired a new general manager by the name of Walt Jocketty.
Uncle Walty Pants.
So he came in, and we know how that ended up for the Cardinals.
Sure.
The Cardinals in 1995 finished in fourth with 62 wins before moving on from Joe Torre. And then they hired Tony La Russa. So now with Tony La Russa and Walt Jocketty, two new faces in the organization. In 1996, the Cardinals then finished first in the division and then went to Game 7 and lost to the Braves in the 1996 NLCS.
Yeah.
So it took a couple years, but I'm looking at things now. John Mozeliak, in his final year with the Cardinals, he's moving on.
Yep.
Guess who's coming in? New GM, new Pobo.
Old Bloomy Pants.
Old Heim Bloom.
Yeah.
Ollie Marmol.
Yes.
What does his future look like?
Well, he'll be here this year, Marsh. And next year.
What about the following year?
No, he gone.
Could be the first year, right? You keep the manager, but you get a new guy upstairs in charge.
Sure.
And then the following year, perhaps Heim Bloom brings in his own guy.
Yep.
Perhaps the Cardinals go to the NLCS.
Hopefully they don't.
Just saying the timeline. Looking at the timeline right now, things are starting to add up a little bit, and we could get a new 20+ years of Cardinals baseball. A new era. But we're in the midst of something that happened about 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Literally the same thing.
We're all in the mix of the Cardinals turning this thing around.
I love it.
So I know your excitement level, Carey, was like a 3?
It started 5. It dipped to 3 by 3:30. Yeah.
Well, maybe we can bring it back up.
Back up, why don't you?
Okay.
You know,
wow.
When you get to talking about things like that, right? You talk about the youngest team that they've ever had since 1994, and you talk about all these young players. You get the excitement going. You start moving and trending in the right direction. I don't know. It's just the universe aligning all of these things. Marsha, you put this together so well, so thoughtful, so articulate in how you were able to put these two teams together and align them with one another. You just got to wait 2 years, Cardinal fans, and if that does not excite you, I don't know what the hell will.
Absolutely.
You know? Your superstars, your young stars, they'll be superstars by then, Anthony.
Will they?
Not just St. Louis stars, as some people will say, but superstars.
Gotcha.
That team in 96, how many superstars did they have, huh, Marshy? They have a few? Had some guys? Yeah? No?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. They had a superstar as a manager, though, didn't they?
Yeah, that they did.
You know?
Darn right they
did.
And
they did blow a 3-1 lead. We're not going to worry about that at all. Don't worry.
That Braves team was good. They got paid, too.
They were pretty good.
I mean, you had the likes of Ozzie Smith, Willie McGee, Tom Pagnozzi, John Mabry was on that team, Gary Gaetti, Royce Clayton.
You got some guys.
There you go.
Andy Bennis, Todd Stottlemyre, Alan Bennis. You know, some guys. Rick Honeycutt.
Okay. So good. Yeah. So in 2 years, NLCS.
Here's one thing I do want to bring up, though. 95 draft. Matt Morris.
Oh, Matty Mo.
Matt Morris. That guy, that name ring a bell, Anthony?
It certainly does. He was a very good Cardinal. Crap giant, good Cardinal.
All right. How about this? How about 96, Braden Looper?
Yep.
You remember Braden Looper?
Certainly do.
How about the next year, 97, you get a guy named Rick Ankiel.
Oh,
He's pretty good.
Yep.
Yeah? And then the following year, you get a guy, J.D. Drew.
How you like that?
Okay. So what you're saying is
the Cardinals drafted.
New regime comes in.
They started drafting guys.
The new regime comes in. They pick the ownership picks the right GM. That GM picks the right manager. You draft well. You develop. Bingo, bango, bongo. NLCS.
With a chance of playing the World Series.
With a chance of playing the World Series is right.
Yeah.
Marsh, I like what you've done here.
Oh, thank you.
Good job.
Now, will they actually get the right people? You know, like Tony La Russa was the Cardinal way. Yeah. I know it goes back to like George Kissel, but the Cardinal way, how to play the game a certain way, like that was really, really putting the emphasis was there with Tony La Russa.
Mm-hmm.
Will Ollie have that? Or no?
We'll see.
Okay.
Well, the timeline says there's a different manager.
Will Ollie have that for the next 2 years until the next manager takes over?
I'm just saying there's a timeline. You know, we always like to go back to the 90s, you know, clothing, music, movies.
Was the 90s the greatest
Great
decade?
time. Yeah.
I would say so.
I think so.
Yeah.
Probably.
I was born then.
Yeah, you were.
In that decade.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
98. 7.
96.
96 was
Carey got it.
Go on, Anthony.
Was the year.
No, our
96.
math's been a little off. I said 20 years. It's been 30 years since 94. And I should know that because I'm pushing 30.
There you go.
But I'll counter by saying maybe the Cardinals haven't been good in 10 years, you know?
Yeah.
Very true.
They haven't been the same in the last 10.
Yeah.
I do feel like the 90s is 20 years ago still.
Oh, I feel like the 90s was yesterday.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. So happens you get old.
Yeah.
Memory gets shot.
The 618 brings up a good point. Dodgers are still around.
Mm-hmm.
Ollie doesn't have Mike Schilt's book.
Oh, damn.
Well, you just ruin everything, why don't you?
Okay, well, now I'm depressed again. Why don't we do Prove Me Wrong next? If you got a Prove Me Wrong statement that you want to send to the Air Common Service text line, that text line is 314-399-9646. So we'll play Prove Me Wrong. This is where you send in a statement that you want Carey and I to attempt to prove wrong, and Judge Andrew Marsh will let us know how we did. Prove Me Wrong next on 101 ESPN.
Prove me wrong, kids. Prove me wrong.
All right, time to play Prove Me Wrong. This is where you send in a Prove Me Wrong statement, anything that you want Carey and I to attempt to prove wrong. We make our case to the judge, Andrew Marsh, and then he gives us either the all clear or the buzzer. Judge, looking smart as always. How are you?
Thank you. Thank you. I'm doing great.
Good.
Can you look smart?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. He does.
Well, he is smart.
Wow.
I don't look at it. He is.
I appreciate that. Just kind of ruined some math in that last conversation, but
did you ruin it, or did you make people think?
You actually made people feel better by saying 20 instead of 30.
That's right.
You know?
You lifted people up.
Yep. Lifted me up for sure.
Yeah,
I was ready. That was good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate the positivity.
Absolutely.
Guys, I really do.
Absolutely, Judge.
Now, that won't affect whether or not you get these right or wrong.
Right.
But I appreciate it.
Look, we wouldn't ask you to do anything you're uncomfortable with. Maybe Jamie would. But he's not here. So.
No maybes about it.
All right.
Yeah. So what do you got for us?
From the 636. This one's interesting. Prove me wrong. The Indianapolis Colts are secretly tanking to get Arch Manning.
They have no need to secretly tank. They drafted a quarterback, Anthony Richardson.
Very high.
Very high a few years ago. They're not secretly trying to tank. They just think. Not something they're doing on purpose. You got a quarterback that took himself out of a game because he was tired. Who the hell does that? Nobody. Mm-mm. No one ever. Nobody ever. Not ever. Not a quarterback. It'd be if you're hurt, you're hurt. If you're injured, obviously, but not because you're tired.
Right.
So, no, they're not secretly tanking for Arch Manning. You know, you don't know where Arch is going to end up. I know Arch is already a favorite to win the Heisman and hadn't started a full season yet, which is amazing in itself. But, you know, there will be some teams that are much worse than the Indianapolis Colts going into next year. Probably the New York Jets, probably the Raiders. The Raiders might still need a quarterback at that point. You know, a few teams that are pretty terrible that will be looking for Arch Manning services, not the Indianapolis Colts. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. This one might be tough. From the 314, prove me wrong. The 80s is the best decade. Sorry, Marshy.
No, the 80s are not the best decade. Was great to be born in the 80s? No question. You see the hair that was in the 80s? Has that ever stuck? No. Things are being brought back in the 90s, though, aren't they? Things like sweet dance moves,
clothing,
incredible music, clothing. Hell, they're even still making Jurassic Park films. Jurassic Park came out in the 90s. That's correct. So when you're thinking about greatest overall decades, Chicago Bulls in the 90s.
Nothing better.
Dallas Cowboys when they were good and not just America's fraudulent team, but actual winners. 90s.
Actually gave a damn.
The Yankees when they were still wholesome. Derek Jeter. Bernie Williams. Derek Jeter. The Braves back when pitching was pitching.
Oh, it doesn't get better than that.
It doesn't get better than that.
That is pure pitching.
I believe in the 90s, a certain talented player named Wayne Gretzky was still doing his thing, along with Mario Lemieux and several other greats.
And the 573 says Knight Rider. I rest my case.
Knight Rider did come out in the 80s. Fine show. Never held up, though, unfortunately. Didn't hold up. Watch it now. You won't be happy with it.
Which version?
The original version.
They remade it.
Right.
If I'm not mistaken, there was also another show, Baywatch.
Baywatch did come out in the 90s.
Yeah, I mean, what are we doing here?
Thank you. Nice job, Goal Council.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem.
Do you think the 2000s, do you think people will ever look back on the 2000s as fondly as they do other decades?
No. The 2000s were, well, great times had by all. My co-counsel here, he won a Super Bowl that year, or in that decade.
I did.
I graduated college that decade, so did Carey. But other than that, pretty lost decade in terms of being memorable.
Yeah.
Music, not that great.
Well, I mean,
fashion. I mean, what's fashionable about the 2000s? You know?
Yeah, I mean, you had some interesting looks. You had spiked hair, or was that the 90s too?
90s.
That was 90s.
That was 90s. Spiked hair. Yeah.
90s is a great time, man. Great decade. Greatest ever.
From the 314. Didn't Yager play his 3,000th game in the 90s?
No, that didn't happen. That didn't happen until next decade. And not the next decade. I'm talking about from right now, decade.
All right, let's move on. From the 618, prove me wrong. Binnington is the Blues version of Yachty. Intangibles are always the reason why he's loved. Stats have only a couple good years, and no one outside of St. Louis respects him.
Well, with all due respect, I mean, he's not. That's not the only reason that they love him. They love him because he brought a Stanley Cup to St. Louis.
Darn right.
That is why he is beloved. It's not about the statistics. Who pays attention to the statistics? People who don't know the game.
Losers.
There you go. I wasn't going to say it, but I let my co-counsel say it. He's the one that says those things.
Jim Carey's character in Fun with Dick and Jane.
You got to pay attention. Loser. You got to use your eyes, Marshy. And when you use your eyes, Jordan Binnington is one of the greatest. One of the best ones to do it, especially here in the city of St. Louis.
So you do think he's compared to Yachty?
No. They're two different players, two different positions, two different sports. Can't compare the two.
Ever.
But, like, he's the Blues version of Yachty.
No, he's not the Blues version of Yachty.
Yachty is a version of his own. He doesn't. There's no one that can compare to Yachty or Molina.
Yeah.
Number 4.
I think the Blues version of Yachty. We haven't seen it yet, but I'm looking forward to that day.
One day.
Yeah.
If we're lucky. If we're lucky.
If we're fortunate. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. I'll give it to you. I didn't really want to.
Yeah.
But I did anyways.
I appreciate it.
Of course. From the 217, prove me wrong. The White Sox will not have the worst record in baseball this season.
The White Sox will not have the worst record in baseball this season. How could they not? I can't name one player that's on the White Sox right now that will still be there by the trade deadline. The White Sox have some of the worst collection of talent, and they're trying to accomplish that. 41 wins last year. There were 51 and a half games back of the Cleveland Guardians with a minus 306 run differential. You can't in one season improve upon that. Especially when you continue to trade away good players that you have, like Garrett Crochet. How many wins did Garrett Crochet have last year? How many wins did Eric Fetty have last year? Both gone. The White Sox are putrid. Somehow they've gotten worse than 41 wins and a minus 306 run differential.
That's crazy.
Team's pure, hot trash. Do like their uniforms, though.
They are pretty sweet. And their giveaways. I mentioned their giveaways a couple weeks ago.
But you better have sweet uniforms and a great giveaways if you're going to be that bad. As in worst team in baseball.
And a great ballpark, great area.
Yeah, well.
From the 636. Prove me wrong.
And you move quickly.
Aaron Rodgers. Prove me wrong. Aaron Rodgers is done as an NFL quarterback and should just hang it up after the terrible time with the Jets.
Did you not see the last couple of games of Aaron and what he was able to accomplish? That guy was moving pretty well in some of those games. He's even more. He'll be further removed from the Achilles tear that was devastating. A lot of players don't bounce back from injuries
we saw
like that.
Kirk Cousins this year.
Exactly. But Aaron Rodgers had 274 yards and 4 tutties in his last game. You tell me that guy can't play anymore? Baloney.
What do you think, Carey? I need more. I need more Aaron Rodgers greatness.
If I may. In the month of December, Aaron Rodgers, he had 2, 3, 6, 7, 11 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. 11 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. And it's not like he was playing toilet water. He was at Buffalo, hosted the Rams, 2 playoff teams. Seahawks did not make the playoffs, but as we noted before, 10-win team. He did that against those teams. You tell me Will Levis should be starting over Aaron? Aiden O'Connell, the pride of Purdue? I don't think so.
And to back my co-counsel, I'll go with this. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, as we said, not a great start to the season. Slowly,
not a great human being either.
Not a great. Hold on, not a great start to the season. But picked it up down the stretch, right, and finished top 10 in passing yardage in the league.
Yeah, he did.
You got guys behind him, Justin Herbert, who my co-counsel loves, Matthew Stafford, Josh Allen, the MVP. You're telling me that this guy doesn't have any juice left? Again, start of the season, not great, but to finish the season, outstanding. The Achilles is more than likely much better than it was to start the season.
Oh, yeah.
He'll be fine.
Yep.
He's ready to play.
I think we need a little bit more. Anthony, if you could, in a few sentences, give a court character reference letter, just maybe like an elevator pitch on Aaron Rodgers' character.
Yeah.
In the locker room, the culture.
Oh, absolutely.
You could expound upon that.
Yeah, guys like Devontae Adams couldn't wait to get to East Rutherford to play with Aaron Rodgers. Couldn't wait. He had other players, too. Randall Cobb couldn't wait to get there.
Alan Lazard.
Yep. You think he's a bad person?
These guys
Would you
love
make
him.
a Netflix documentary on a bad person? I don't think so. Is he misunderstood? Yeah, big time. But Aaron Rodgers is still a class act individual. There's no doubt about it.
I have one more question.
Sure.
You mentioned the Bills.
Yeah.
At the end of the season. Do you want to expound upon his game against the Bills?
Well, here's the thing. Judge, you're sacked 4 times. And as we saw in the Super Bowl, there's only so much you can do when your offensive line absolutely stinks that day.
Yeah.
And Aaron Rodgers certainly
if I may,
gave it his all.
If I may, I'd rather go to the final game.
Full 4 quarters?
Almost.
Well, here's the thing. I'd rather go to the final game of the year where he had an outstanding game. The last game of the year against the Miami Dolphins defense. Threw for 274 yards, 4 touchdowns, only 1 interception. This is I think, the version of Aaron Rodgers that my co-counsel is speaking of. Did a fantastic job. Led that team to a victory.
Yeah.
At home versus Miami. Final game of the year. You got nothing to play for, right? You're going 1, 2, 3 Cancun when the game is over, and you still come out and you put forth that type of effort. I think it speaks volumes to who he is as a football player and how much he got left. Your Honor.
Well, you guys gave me a lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff. However, I'm just messing. Good job. Good job.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice job.
I feel like a hypocrite because I said he'd play on some team yesterday.
Yeah, you did.
So I can't.
Right, you
retire
can't.
him.
Right, exactly. Yeah,
I got to stick to what I said.
Now I can throw up.
Yeah,
Zoosh at one point goes, Anthony, are you hearing yourself? I know, Zoosh. I blacked out.
Did you say something about Aaron Rodgers having a Netflix documentary?
Yeah.
The 314 says Netflix makes documentaries about bad people all the time.
I know. That was the joke.
Oh, man.
What's that one? Killers one.
Killers.
Yeah.
Did you just tell me about one where they were on the side of the road? The guy was that Netflix?
He was on the side of the road?
He was a hitchhiker?
Yeah. The smash guy. The hitchhiker.
Yeah, but did he kill somebody out of hatred?
Turns out he was a
really bad dude.
Really bad dude.
Oh, I thought he looked so charismatic in his little video.
Yeah.
I guess
gotta watch the whole thing.
Ted Bundy was that way too.
Gotta watch the whole thing.
Yeah. You have to watch the whole thing.
Interesting.
Jason, it's hard to give this one the bell when these same 2 people said a few days ago about Rodgers wins at the end of the year being worthless.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Well, people change their mind.
Yeah. You get new information.
We were kidding when we said that. All right? Ricky, I was high when I said that. All right, let's get to your Jordan Binnington / Blues 4 Nations mic drops. Are you rooting for the Blues' success throughout this 4 Nations tournament, or are you rooting for the U.S. of A? That's next on 101 ESPN. If you need to cut down on that debt, call my guy Stewie, 314-324-4440. So this is a situation that impacts a lot of us as Americans, and if it has kept you up at night because you don't know what you're going to do with the credit card, bills continuing to pile up, the system is there to keep you in debt, quite frankly. The credit card rates are astronomical, but there are options available to you. And you might not think that you have options, but if you call my guy Stewie, ask about the bagel loan and some of the other deals that he has going on, he's going to help you get out of debt and do so in a reasonable manner, in a reasonable time, and before long, you get your life back from a financial standpoint. Maybe you're looking at your dream home, but you don't know if all your financials add up and you're able to create a loan that's going to work for you. Call Stewie. He loves challenges. He loves helping people out. He's been in St. Louis forever. He lives for this stuff. I mean, he gives out his personal cell phone number because he wants you to call or text him and not have to worry about being, on holds or dealing with somebody else. Stewie will take care of it for you. So call Stewie. Talk to him about where the rates are right now. If you want to refi or you're even considering it, he'll let you know if it's a good time to do so or what your situation is. There's really no challenge that Stewie won't accept. He's phenomenal. He's our guy, needs to be your guy as well. Again, one more time with that number, 314-324-4440. He's Stewie. He's live. He's local. He's ready for your call. Google the bagel loan.
NMLS number 226715.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a SportsCenter update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. After the show, we'll have the pregame for Game 1 of the Four Nations as Canada takes on Sweden. Jordan Binnington will be in the pipes, in between the pipes, that is, for Team Canada. Colton Parayko also representing Team Canada. Pregame for that one starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. We asked you if you will be rooting for the Blues' success in the Four Nations tournament or if you will be rooting for Team USA. It could be both, but you sent us your mic drops. We're going to play those next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this SportsCenter update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Then on 101 ESPN. So as Marsh just said in the SportsCenter update, if you got a mic drop that you wanted to leave us about the Four Nations tournament, we asked for these a little bit earlier, and now it's time to play them. So without further ado, let's hear from Matt, whether or not he's rooting for the Blues players in the Four Nations tournament or if he's all about Team USA.
If this were the Olympics, I would feel differently, but I'm rooting for the Blues on Team Canada in the Four Nations tournament.
Okay, first vote for Team Canada, the Blues, in the Four Nations tournament. So he does not see country. He sees blue.
DLW says they needed a Marsh poll for the Four Nations.
Yeah, why don't you put your poll out there?
I should put my poll out there, yeah.
People want to hop on that
Maybe
thing.
you can do it tomorrow.
Maybe, yeah. We'll see how this goes. Well, it might be a little too late.
It's probably too late. Yeah, it's wasting time. Yep.
It's going to be quicker. I got to put my poll out there quicker.
You certainly do, Marsh. Something to think about. All right, that was Matt. So Team Canada for Matt. How about Timothy?
I'll root for both USA and Canada. Obviously, I want Binnington to shove it down the
you do.
throats of his critics.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then, of course, Parayko is on the team, too, so I'll root for them because of that. And then I'll also root for Team USA because our Blues future captain, Brady Tkachuk, is on the team. So it's a win-win. So no matter who wins, we win. So
yeah, I like good win-win.
I do like win-wins.
Yeah, have insider information? Does he know something?
I think he's trying to put it in the atmosphere.
Okay.
Yeah, speak it into existence. Yep.
All right.
Yeah. Here's the thing, Timothy, spot on. Well said. And like where your head's at. How about Bill?
Am I rooting for the Blues players or am I rooting for Team USA? Gonna be biased and go for the Blues players. I'm a huge Colton Parayko fan, and I really, truly think that with more of a national stage look at him, I think he will get the respect that he deserves. I think he gets overlooked because he is on the Blues compared to some of these Cale Makars and whatnot.
Okay. Like that. I think we get a little sense of where people are at with Jordan Binnington, them wanting to, and we talked about this before, them wanting to see Jordan Binnington really stick it to the critics.
Stick it to the man, the Osis.
Why else do you guys think, and we'll hear from Kevin here in a second, but why else do you guys think that Binnington is so disliked? It can't just be...
That's a very good question.
A couple of times where he squirted the water bottle, right?
It was that. What did he do a couple of years ago when he didn't he skate off and was like?
Well, he's done a couple of things where
it's just the antics that he had, and I mean he probably went through and beat some of their favorite teams, and all of a sudden you don't like the guy.
The jealousy.
I think it is. I think it's a little jealousy, and then all of a sudden when he does not play good. You know, they take it and they're like, oh, this guy's not that good.
They celebrate it.
And they celebrate his failures.
Which is sad.
It is.
It's sad where we're at right now when you have to celebrate a guy's failures.
Well, some people want you to, yeah.
But
some people whisper your successes and shout your failures.
This is true, Anthony.
To me, when he did have those moments where, he wanted to fight or whatever, if he was on your team, you would absolutely want your goaltender fighting. You don't get to see that. I just saw last night in I think it was some league overseas. They were in the handshake line, and then there was a goalie brawl. The two goalies got in each other's faces, and they started kind of going at it.
Should have been standing there.
Yeah. Or just fight. Get it over with.
Yeah, I mean, it was in the handshake. Like, hey, the series is over.
They were mad.
They were shaking hands. Like, good job. Like, let's be respectful. No! I want to punch you in the face.
I have always found that interesting with hockey when they go to the handshake line at the end of playoff series.
Yeah.
It's a really cool tradition.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with that. All right, let's hear from Kevin, who he's rooting for in the Four Nations tournament.
Hey, guys. Kevin again.
Hey, Kevin.
Regarding Four Nations, I don't know that I love this idea, but hear me out.
Oh, no.
With Jordan Binnington, this tournament and the Olympics are the exact tournaments where if he does really well for Canada, and by really well I mean coming in second place to the USA,
Okay. All right.
does really well, he could improve his perception quite a bit. After this year, Binnington has 2 more years left in his contract. Again, I do not necessarily love this idea. But if the Blues are still middling around after the Olympics and in the offseason heading into the 26-27 season, then putting on a show at this tournament,
Kevin. Don't say it.
could do wonders for his draft stock.
Oh, Kevin.
Where the Blues could end up trading him.
Stop it.
And getting pieces back in return, young players that would send a cup team over the edge and could help the Blues further along. Again, I don't know that I love it, but if we're talking about the Blues, that could have major implications.
Kevin.
You know, if I may, you got one guy trying to speak Brady Tkachuk into existence. And you got Kevy here trying to speak Trade Binnington into existence.
And based it off of him playing well.
Damn it!
So
What are we doing here?
Do you not want him to play well? What are we doing? What happened?
No, I don't know. What happened to you, Kevin? Wow. Who hurt you?
I don't think he's wrong.
What?
I'm just
Carey.
saying, what if he's not wrong?
He didn't like the idea, though. He just presented the idea.
He didn't like it.
He backed away Homer Simpson style.
It pained him to say it.
Yeah, I don't care if it pained him. It should pain him.
You know, we talk about the Cardinals needing to trade players a year earlier, Anthony.
Yeah.
What makes it different?
It doesn't make it different.
Okay, so Kevin's just putting
in this
together,
situation, you'd be trading Binnington like 3 years too
well,
early.
Kevin is just putting together something that, maybe could be talked about.
What happened to you?
I'm just saying, you got a good goalie, 2 of them. You got 2. They both can't play at the same time, Anthony.
No, that's just why goalies now, it's a 1A, 1B situation. You know that.
Hey, Anthony, I'm just trying not to let my man Kevin be here alone, okay?
In some respects, I feel that is noble of you. In other respects, boy, it ticks me off. Ticks me off that you would go that route.
I don't want to see Binnington leave.
Doesn't sound like it.
Yeah. Wow.
No, it needed to be said. It did. It needed to be said.
I think people want Binnington regardless.
He got a text from here, from the 314. If we can get Tkachuk for Binnington, now what do you say?
It was a hell of a run with Binnington. Hell of a run. We'll never forget that cup run.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yep.
I don't know if that is a realistic trade.
I don't think it
May
is.
not be,
If you're trading for a goaltender, that means you're trying to win a cup, and you're
Right.
definitely not trading away Brady Tkachuk.
Nope. But I do like what they said there.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think we accomplished a lot here. Let's move on. What have we learned? 3 stars of the day, criticisms and compliments all next on 101 ESPN. Mosby Building Arts, the right remodeling company. You don't want to go with the wrong remodeler. You know what you know what this looks like. You've done a remodel before in your house, and you hire a company to come out, and you feel like you're saving a bunch of money, but then over time during the project, all of a sudden you start to incur a bunch of different costs, right? You all of a sudden it's like, well, we need to add this, we need to add that. That's going to be more expensive. Before you know it, you actually didn't save any money. You don't know if they're going to be there on time. They cut corners. They got, horrible designers. They do a halfway job. Maybe they start the job and they get another bid, and then before you know it, the project lasts months on end. That's why you need to call the right remodeler. That's Mosby. They have the honest pricing up front. You know what the cost is going to be. There's no gimmicks. There's no hidden fees. They deliver high quality work. They got designers with great taste. So whether you're doing a bathroom or a kitchen or even a basement, Mosby Building Arts, they're going to do it right the first time. Trustworthy construction team as well. I love Mosby Building Arts. They're fantastic. They've worked in our home before. I told you about a couple weeks ago replacing the doors, and the process was smooth, and they did a phenomenal job. In fact, the kids went down to the basement today when it's kind of raining a little bit, and they're like, hey, the basement's not raining anymore. Exactly. Thanks to Mosby Building Arts. 314-909-1800 or call or visit callmosby.com to schedule a free consultation today and see the difference for yourself. Again, Mosby Building Arts, the right remodeling company. If you missed anything from today's show, you can always download the podcast, available at 101ESPN.com or your Dobbs Tire and Auto Center mobile app, 101 ESPN mobile app. All the podcasts, of course, brought to you by the Schaefer Door Company. All right, Marshy.
Yes.
What did you learn today?
I learned that people don't like when you breathe.
Yes.
Wow.
Or sigh.
Yep.
They don't like it.
No.
Especially for an extended period of time.
They hate it, in fact.
Told us it was boring.
Yeah, boring.
This is boring.
Breathing is boring.
Breathing is boring, and we wish you guys wouldn't do it anymore. That's what we heard today.
Breath.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
It was harsh, quite frankly.
Mm-hmm.
If any of us had feelings, they'd be hurt right now.
Yeah. Fortunately for us.
We don't.
We don't give a damn.
We don't give a damn. No, we don't give a fast lane. You know what I mean? All right.
I wish you would have had the music to go along with that.
We don't give a... all right, Carey, what'd you learn today?
I learned that you don't like the movie Face Off.
What? Oh, no, I do like it.
Oh,
It's
you
just,
do like it?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, no.
I want his face
off. Oh, no, I love it.
You're going to take his face?
It's just an interesting. I just said it was an interesting concept.
It is interesting.
You know?
He was like, they just take his face off and
just take it right off.
Put it on another person.
Yeah.
Put it on, and like just swap faces.
Mm-hmm. Personality changed, but the face did not, so it confused some people.
Kind of crazy, huh?
No scar either.
Wow. Interesting.
Took the whole face off, no scars.
Well, that guy's in a different movie.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
He's actually a lion.
Ah.
Yeah, good
Have you seen the new one?
The new
kind of gives you a backstory.
I have not seen it. No, I didn't really care for the live action Lion King movie, so I really didn't care for the newer one.
You gotta watch Mufasa.
Yeah,
it's and Marshy, trust me. It's a good movie. It's a good movie.
I'm not doubting that it
great backstory. You kind of learn about
kind of learn about some things.
Why that specific lion was the way that he was.
I can't get into
Rough
the
upbringing?
live action like animals.
Well, no,
like, it looks weird.
It's an animated movie. It's a cartoon.
It's live action.
Nah, it's good.
It ain't. You know what my biggest gripe about these Disney movies is
Tell us.
They don't have the old animation style anymore.
It looks good, man. Trust me. It's good.
I thought the remake of The Lion King, the live action one, was fine. We watched that with the kiddos. It was fine.
It's the same movie.
It's the exact same movie, but different.
But like the facial expressions, it just doesn't. They don't convey the same facial expressions and emotions that they did in the cartoon.
Okay,
you can do more things.
Turn my computer around so he could see it.
Yeah,
it's a great movie, Marshy.
Something I learned today is that Marsh hates certain animated films, but does love polar bears.
Well, we did learn. So I did.
I do like polar
Grand
bears.
Francis Fan Club, and I did Google this myself. We were talking about bears earlier, and this is what the Google machine says. If it's brown, lie down.
Okay.
If it's black, fight back.
Okay.
And then I think Grand Francis added his own, fan club added his own. If it's white, say goodnight, because it's a wrap. you ain't got a chance, man.
Boy, ain't that the truth. It's white.
I was looking at polar bears yesterday. You avoid those at all costs.
Yeah, that.
I don't know why you're there where a polar bear would be. Basically what it was saying.
Sometime. How do you move away from a polar bear?
You shouldn't have been there.
Don't worry about it. You're going to feel that. Zeus says Fastlane. I said it was waiting on a follow-up segment of dead air and breathing with the Fastlane. Fastlane? Yeah, sorry about that,
Sorry
Zeus.
about that.
Yeah, you do apologize.
Zeus, you were probably in the minority of those who wanted to hear us breathing and sighing for an entire 10 to 12 minutes.
Yeah, people did not want that.
Yeah, no, hell no.
Oh, well.
They wanted us to stop breathing.
They certainly did.
Yeah.
Certainly did. All right, March, do we have any criticisms or compliments outside of, us still breathing?
Other than that, we got one from Swan. Great show today, guys. I had the day off from doing anything except a Zoom meeting for school in the morning, so loved getting to listen all day. That's from Swan.
Thanks, Swan.
Thank you, Swan.
You a teacher?
I think he's a student.
Yeah, he's a student. Swan's
a younger cat.
He's a younger cat.
Yes. From 314, I got a criticism for Kevin. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, no.
Putting that blank out there in the universe. By the way, Stalter, I think the word you were looking for was manifesting. LOL.
Manifest, yeah. Yeah.
Nice. Speaking it into existence.
Sure.
Manifesting. Yeah.
I mean, if you can use one word.
There you go.
Don't use
That's
three.
The word.
Yeah.
That's what they say, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sure.
What do they know?
A lot.
Okay.
All right, we ready for our 3 stars of the day?
Yes, we are.
All right, our 3rd star of the day goes out to polar bears.
Polar bears,
Yeah,
nice job.
Polar bears, yes.
Stay away from them guys and gals.
Ripping one face off at a time. It really is good, guys.
And gals.
Yeah.
All right, and, our 2nd star of the day goes out to breathing and sighing.
Yeah.
Breathing and sighing.
Yes. Don't do it on radio, clearly.
Do not. Please.
1st star of the day goes out to Janet, who brought the heat today.
Oh, Janet, phenomenal as always. I feel like we haven't heard a lot from Janet recently, so to get her to weigh in on her Cardinals and her hatred for Mo, it's always good.
She's on BK and Ferrario more than she is with us now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You got to tune in, Anthony.
Oh, she doesn't like us.
I don't know. She doesn't like
She
us.
just likes them better.
Maybe.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Well, nobody's safe here in the fast lane. See you.